Alright, sick. Oh god, how do I get into the window? Hopefully that call will hold long enough for someone else to pile in. Otherwise, I'll be mildly inconvenienced. Not a consistent 60 is the thing. Streaming, whatever resolution I have it at, but 60 FPS, I think it's 720, 60 FPS, while recording 10, 80, 60 FPS does make it go at these settings. But to be honest, I think it's still functionally fine. Well, the jitters a bit in the lobby, the hubs. It's mostly fine here.
I'm gonna offer a bit of constructive criticism.
And what's that?
I feel like in the Discord chat, you should mention that you're gonna put a call of like a minute before doing it.
Alright.
I can do my scramble in that minute beforehand.
I mean, you know, like it literally is just you pile in when you're ready. You don't need to scramble.
Be in the middle of drinking giant thing of water. It's like there's a call, and I'm like, I'm not fucking putting this water down. I deserved it.
Keep drinking, yeah. You don't have to come in right away.
No, I hate missing a call.
I'm just farting to myself with my resolution settings. What are you missing? Hello, Chris. How's your day been?
Awful.
Oh.
That's what happens. Oh, I have to hemorrhage some tabs before I feel comfortable closing Chrome, so that Monster Hunter maybe won't lag, even though it does anyway. I think it's funny that I haven't booted up Monster Hunter World, but he's not here. Wow, look at that.
Speak of the devil.
Here.
What?
You're here.
Yes.
He was literally just saying, it's funny you booted in the game but weren't in the call yet. And then right as he said it, Evan appears.
Yes. I've gotten into the habit of starting the game first, and then entering the call.
That's like eating food first and then entering the quest.
Yes? Isn't that what you do?
No, that's what you do.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's. I get what you mean. I thought you just meant in general, like eating food before a quest. I'm like, that's the mechanic of the game, Monster Hunter. You got to eat food before you go on the quest. But no, I eat the food and then I join the quest. Yes, I do that sometimes.
Hammer had some family stuff, so we're gonna be a man down for a bit.
No problem. Anyway, I looked it up.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was on December 4th that Capcom said all events, for the most part, are always on now forever, which was a great update, except for Safi Jiva and Kulve Taroth.
Makes literally no sense.
So how did?
Safi Jiva and Kulve Taroth are on a 2-week rotation. There will be a
Oh
2-week
my
period
God.
where it's Safi Jiva and a 2-week period where it's Kulve Taroth forever.
Why?
Is it a Kulve Taroth week? Let's find out.
Why? At that point, fucking why? It doesn't even make any sense.
Because they're both sieges.
It's like, oh, yeah, more people will be readily available if we limit the amount of time that a thing exists. Except Monster Hunter World is dead anyway. I'm gonna be waiting forever anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that it's a limited time, it's that it's either Kulve Taroth or Safi Jiva, but never both at the same time. But one of them's always on, apparently.
Remember when Salmon Run was like the shifts were very far apart, and then Nintendo realized that they made a better game mode than the actual base game, so then they made it on basically all the time. I feel like there's something to learn from that.
Remember when Nintendo made the Satellaview and you had to get home to catch your video game at 9 p.m. in Japan?
I still think that that's a novelty that could go somewhere.
I think it is cool that's like, oh, here's a video game at a specific time. But it also does present FOMO in a little bit of a way.
Yeah, I know exactly. That's why it'd be an excellent idea this generation.
Yes.
Oh, I had to move everything.
It's like my brain cells emptied themselves out to respond to other things. So this is not a Kulve week.
Are you asking me?
Yes.
No, I don't know. I
Okay.
tried to look it up.
I was hopeful
There
that you
is-
could
there is
find
no
a thing
act-
that
there is no-
tracks it.
There is no clock. I was hoping there would be. I was like,
Oh.
Capcom no longer posts any event schedule because all the events are active except for these two. So, I was like, well, is there a clock that says, is it a Kulve week or is it a Safi Jiva week? No one's made that yet.
No.
It makes you wonder why the Behemoth quest isn't on a clock. That's a pretty hard quest that you'd want multiple people to be in. You think like the similar logic would apply or something, but
Yeah.
apparently not.
I think it's more the
not a
rewards
siege.
involved.
It's not a siege. Behemoth is a regular monster, not a siege.
What is this, a mobile game?
Yeah.
Like, the Savage Evil weapons unironically like outpower almost everything else in the game. If you get lucky a bit, yes, but you know, they do that.
Yeah, that's the point. No fucking normal human being's gonna do that anyway, so who cares? Like the whole point of Monster Hunter is that you can play it super casually or you can play it super competitively, and it's the same fucking game. It just depends on what you want out of it. Where's the quest? Good to see you. It's Kulve Taroth Siege.
You have it?
Yeah, wow, look, its part breakability is the lowest, and the time remaining is the shortest. I don't know what that means, but that sounds fucking awful. Why is that a
Wait,
thing?
where are you saying this? Just in the Astera Gathering Hub? Or...
In the Better Hub, Gathering Hub.
Okay, maybe I'll go there and I'll also be there, because maybe it's by our session, so hopefully that's how it works. Although I asked the one in Astera and she doesn't have shit, so I'm kind of
Yeah, it's a Gathering Hub thing, because it's a quest where they really want you to play with multiple people, or else. But not the Behemoth quest. Even though you hear, see you around, buddy, at the beginning of every single quest.
Maybe it's because I set Celiana as my default one, so it's Celiana Gathering Hub gets the siege. Okay, is it over there where you're at, or?
Yes.
Okay. Ah, yeah, there we go. Okay, so the basic gist of this is, the idea of the siege is you run at this gate several times, and you have a time limit in it to bust parts off and do, shed bits, brick parts, do damage to it. And when it flees, and the next time around, like, you get more time, and its parts are more easy to break on the next run, and the idea is keep running at it until you can win, or until it hits a low, like, eventually it will hit like a point where you have a full hunt or more worth of time, and its parts will be as breakable as a regular gets.
So Siege was this game's attempt at weird fight, like Rampage was in Rise.
Yes.
Except it's still actually fighting a monster normally instead of some dumbass tower defense shit.
So the idea of the siege is basically this big thing stomping around like an area. As you fight it and bust parts off, you do enough damage to force it into like the lower areas where you chase it. So you've got different arenas where you can do different stuff in it. Top arena is well equipped with like bombs and cannons and stuff, and as you go down, environmental opportunities and stuff change. Like Arena 2 has a lot big massive ramp and stuff. Arena 3 has like stuff in the ceiling and so on to knock down. It also has lava floors. And again, the idea is basically after a certain time, if you don't beat it in time, it will run away, and then you run the siege again pretty much right away if you want to fight it again. And depending on how many different parts you break, you can unlock like achievements, kind of way to put it. So you bust right leg and you get the right leg bonus, which will make the time go a bit longer, make its overall parts more breakable, and so on. On and on until you get it to the final arena where you then beat it shit in and actually win. And I quite enjoy the sieges because I played them both with just David, and I think we attempted it, but I don't remember if we did Kulve Taroth or not. I know I only played Staffy G with David, and that took us like 8 hours all day with just the two of us.
Cool.
And the idea being, the more people you have, of course, the easier and faster it goes. But the other idea of it is, a siege is technically you can have like 4 parties across like 4 different things, all fighting it at once and all contributing to the same score. Is the idea.
Cool.
I remember when streamers used it as like, hey, it's a streamer friendly mode, and then never really took off anyway.
Who do I talk to get it on my end?
I don't think we're doing it yet because
I know we're not doing it yet because Hammer is not here, but
Yeah.
I want to get the confirm.
Well, over here, this lady has it. It should just be big option gold Kulve Taroth Siege if you have it.
Wow, it says Kulve Taroth Siege.
Yeehaw. Kulve Taroth
What if-
weapons. Yep.
It has a unique menu option and everything. What if the reason they have to do 2-week rotation is that the game is incompatible with both of them happening at the same time because of how they made the game?
I could easily see that, yeah.
What if they just fucking fixed it with their $500 trillion that this game?
We already moved all the developers on to making Iceborne and Rise, so hands are tied, I'm afraid.
Yeah, clearly they had enough time after doing absolutely nothing with Rise. Maybe they could have gone back and fixed this.
The whole point of Rise was that they were addled by plague, so they couldn't make as much as usual. Not that they weren't doing
I don't know,
anything.
dude. I think they undersold it a bit too. Oh, it was COVID. We can only make 2 new monsters.
I mean, yeah. Japan has still only got like a 3% vaccination rate. They are fucked, man.
What, right now?
Yep.
That's ridiculous. What are they doing?
The government is hideously, horribly inefficient and run on mostly paperwork and not digital stuff that gives places like the UK's government, like a surprising amount of fleet-footedness in getting vaccines out. So very little are vaccinated. They got constant lockdowns, and their government is horribly inefficient. There's a whole movie we could watch that actually underlines this and makes a very big political point called Shin Godzilla. But you know,
Let's just watch Shin Godzilla on stream.
unironically, I probably
You
would
know,
cry.
Shin Godzilla, in a way, is Monster Hunter.
You know, you're not wrong actually.
That's what Godzilla is. It's a monster. You hunt him, but you never win because it's Godzilla.
But I.
Oh, and Godzilla versus Kong is a turf war.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just a big 2 hour turf war. So does anyone have anything they want to hunt for us to get hunt around out of?
Yes.
What's that?
I will hunt anything. I am completionist. I will do whatever is asked.
I'm because it's like we're not gonna get to both phases of the monster immediately, right? And then if we get to
no.
like a phase 2 or whatever, then it'll start us on the phase 2.
No, you start from phase 1 every time. But the
Is
idea
phase
is
2 faster?
the idea is as your time make its parts weaker and you get more time and all, like as you do the siege over and over again, it gets easier and easier to break it, do enough damage to force it down in phases. So like even with just the two of us, me and David got to the point where phase 1 is like 2 minutes of just like running around, shooting the right cannons, hitting it with bombs, and just beating it in the face when it gets knocked over. And then it runs down to like phase 2 in like 2 minutes, and then on you go. It doesn't take that long as like the further you go in.
I think maybe for like at least at the beginning, I want an electric weapon, and then it can go from there. So I want to fight Tober Kadacher.
Oh yeah. Do you
So my
have a
question
thing
is-
set up or?
Hold on. No, hold on.
You know, if we do want electric, I probably do want to fight high rank Kieran at a point.
I accept this, but also I resent you for it.
Is it even better? Because my Toby Kadachi one has higher sharpness and higher raw power.
It varies by tree. Like the Kieran weapons on, I think, Dual Blades had like much better damage but far shittier sharpness than Toby Kadachi or something like that. Like there was a trade-off between them.
I think sharpness is generally better.
I don't think
I
so
don't
on
know.
Dual Blades, honestly. Given that you're just hitting all the time forever.
I mean,
Well,
I
yeah,
just,
that's why you use the ability that makes it so that you don't lose sharpness. Hooray!
I'm going to the forge because I just when I was like, I want an electric weapon. What's one electric weapon on this tree? Oh, it's this thing called Pale by a monster called Kieran. Let's just do that, and that was my decision.
Yeah, you might as well stack them up and have a nosy.
You just opened the fucking Chrome tab. Searching on my phone is awful. I just want to know what rank it is. Okay, low rank Toby Kadachi. Can you handle it?
I don't know, man. That's a big ass.
How do I navigate this hellhole?
Oh yeah, the problem for me was that there is 2 thunder trees for Switch Axe.
Mm.
One is the Toby Kadachi, but it's just the regular ore one, and I was like, that's regular. I want the cool one. And I picked Kieran, which is the only other thunder
Wait.
element.
Oh, wait a second. That's not how we should be choosing our weapons.
That's how I did, though. But in all seriousness, I'm pretty sure the Kieran one is better than just Thunder Element tree, which is the only other tree it has. There is another Thunder Element, but I have no access to it because it is an iceborne
Yeah, so
monster.
that's a very specific Iceborne get this. He's always in.
Other than that, no other thunder element tree.
Alright, well, we'll get on a Kieran as well. You should probably give in the low rank to Ikadachi first.
I'm seeing if I have any better rewards. Actually, as far as not picking a weapon based on aesthetics or feeling or whatever, in Monster Hunter Rise, there's a magical girl stick insect glaive that's blast, and I'm like, well, there are elemental ones that I should probably be building, but and like you know how they're only like you can only upgrade a weapon like 5 times total in Rise for some reason, and it's very unsatisfying, and I hate it. It's like all the elemental weapons like probably don't get better than this one until like 300 ranks from now. So I'm like, you know what? I don't feel that bad about it.
How far in are you still? Like this middle of pub
Uh,
or...
we're reaching the we're gonna reuse all of the Monster Hunter World Monsters Hunter rank.
Okay. I think that's 3 or 4. I forget. That's when
I think
Barrel
it's
and everyone else
3.
piles in. I think like Longsword kind of gets spoiled in Rise, unsurprisingly, because you know, like at some point you just get a big ass scythe, and that scythe can also become poison if you want. It's just kind of like, I'm eating good.
I just noticed something.
Yeah.
If you move the cursor diagonal on the weapon tree, it's faster than moving it just in one direction because it adds both movement vectors together rather than
You love to see it.
normalizing them.
It's like in Super Mario Odyssey, how Mario moving through the air diagonally just uncaps his speed.
That's such a bizarre thing. I wonder why.
Like, you can go to the weapon tree and you can hold diagonal and zigzag it a bit, and you're like, yeah, that's faster.
It's like fucking
I've
arm,
unlocked fast scroll.
it's like arm
You're
pumping in Super
welcome.
Metroid to move faster.
But Metroid, Metroid,
Did
Metroid.
someone say Metroid?
Metroid,
That's new.
the thing that's worth talking about again.
You're right, but also fuck you.
Also, I found out what the difference is. The Thunder Element tree does more damage. The Kirin tree does more Thunder Element.
Ooh.
Well, isn't Switch Axe better with Raw? Maybe.
I don't know.
I kind of wish that I saw the Switch Axe through to use the origami Switch Axe in Rise, but I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I feel like they fucking destroyed the entire purpose of this weapon by allowing you to charge the sword gauge in 2 seconds.
That's probably not a very good balance move, yes.
Because like the idea is you're supposed to switch back to the axe and build your sword gauge back so that you can use the sword again, right?
Yes.
You don't absolutely not. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, but it's also a better greatsword because it's exploding.
Yeah, this is really the loser here is Grit Sword.
But I think just the fact that I'm not using half of the weapon, it grates at me so much that I would probably rather use the greatsword, which I don't want to do anyway. So,
Well, I'd recommend trying it in World at some point anyway. Then.
yeah, that was my idea. I might try it because my friend and roommate Luke has a friend who wants to play this, and we started it, and then it's like, oh, this is a friend who's never available. But if we ever actually get back on it, I might try Switch Axe here.
Man's long sword.
Hey, I do have a water glaive. This has plus 20% affinity. And weight sharpness. I'm sticking with gay bulge, dude. I imagine that offsets the elemental weakness. Like, what is this, Pokemon? I actually don't know how elemental weakness works in this game specifically.
Wait, oh, I almost accidentally paid with a gourmet voucher because I forgot you can't oven roast in the gathering hub. So I scrolled to the bottom and then hit it. It's not what you do.
That's weird. 1 point for Monster Hunter Rise.
See, these are the sort of things you would need to catch in testing if you have time and all, but from my own work experience, I can tell you, no one wants to listen to testers. Sometimes you just can't fucking hit testers, honestly.
You can test any of the 14 different weapon types in the training area.
Sometimes QA will tell you, this is terrible. And they're right, but that doesn't make you not angry.
Sometimes QA would tell you, hey, this isn't working. You look at their tools and go, QA, you didn't pay attention, set this up right. And they go like, oh, well, it doesn't work. And it's like, no, you didn't fucking do it right. And then everything gets held back a week, and a feature isn't in production. I fucking hit my job sometimes, alright?
Are you telling me you have experience with this? Wouldn't you be like training a new person or something?
Okay. Software engineering has a lot of money, and this is why it has a lot of money. Because you have to deal with other people. In a horrible environment for dealing with people in. The environment where you tickle machines to make them do what people want.
What? Man, one thing I hate about not doing Behemoth anymore is the need to actually use max potions to get full HP. I kind of like the whole gourmet voucher thing that we had going on there. And he's pissed already?
I forgot they do the mushrooms, actually.
Wow, the Kinsec just bobbed him on the leg. He's like, oh shit!
Ow. Frog, ow. Pin, misery. Evan joins us. Okay.
Wow, Toby Gadachi's hitbox is just as bad in this game as it is in Rise.
Probably because it's the same hitbox, exactly.
What is this? Kirby and Super Smash Bros. Melee?
Is this a capture or is it just destroy the man?
It's a capture because I need materials for it.
Well, he's limping,
okay.
so now's the time. I don't have any of my capture shit on me, actually, so rip.
I have capture if we need it, unless Chris is already ahead of me doing it.
He's just riding the thing.
Oh, he's what?
What?
I can't fucking launch it into a wall. Come on.
Not while it's like retreating, man.
No, you can sometimes. I just don't know what determines whether you can or can't.
There we go.
I did it.
Yeehaw.
I even wishlist what I wanted.
Anyway, Nintendo wins E3.
Yeah, me and Gab, we chatted a little bit about this yesterday, but it was mostly about the Advance Wars part. Because me and him, we see Advance Wars, we go, ah, that's the one. That's the one I know. I like that one.
That's a good shit right there.
Wow, Evan, is that because of a certain type of games that you like?
Yes.
Wait, is it raining? Hold on, I have to close my car windows. Give me a sec.
You left them open?
Yes, I bet he did. That's okay, though.
Sort my shit out because I'm still in like behemoth mode. Uh, yeah. Metroid Dread. Metroid 5. It exists. They're doing it. It's coming out in October. I am screaming.
Metroid.
It was the funny thing where they said, Metroid Prime 4 is still in development. And I was like, they said the word Metroid. It's still, they're going to acknowledge it. But I was kind of like, even before they said we have a thing, I was kind of like, wait, they wouldn't be bringing this up if they weren't going to show us something Metroid. And then they did.
They showed Metroid.
It looks so fucking good.
I did see a hot take that was complaining that it was Mercury Steam because this person didn't like the Lords of Shadows game, and completely ignoring the fact that they did not play the 3DS game, which was Mercury Steam's most recent game,
Yep.
and was good.
It's almost like the people running their project kind of factor in there. Isn't it? Maybe Nintendo's oversight is kind of better than Konami in the era where they were going, okay, fuck all game development. It's the thing as well, like, Lords of Shadow 1, like, people can make of it whatever, but the thing is, that is still, like, a perfectly functional, complete game and all. The 3DS Lords of Shadow was a bit awkward and everything, and Lords of Shadow 2 apparently is just actual garbage, but the latter of those had, like, actual director problems and oversight problems Konami didn't give a single shit about. Whereas it's kind of like, Nintendo very clearly kept a tighter control on the reins of that because Samus Returns is actually really good. Any which way, like, even just looking at it, it's kind of like, you can see that they were being constrained by the 3DS on Samus Returns. Like, how do I put it? The immediate thing right away, actually, Dread is running twice the frame rate out of the gate. So it's kind of like, okay, yeah, right there. That's a big improvement. That's like everything is now tighter, better. Just smoother, feels better. The animation, like on the Emmy, like the way, like the robots that hunt you, the enemies, just the way Zonos moves about, all of it's a lot sleeker and finer. Like, Mercury Steam very clearly more comfortable working in HD development because it just shines. It's gorgeous. Look at it. The way water moves, light is used, all of it. Zomus' suit with the weird fleshy bits. It's like, they're perfectly fine here. They know what they're out. They know what they're about.
I like when Gavin says Zamus.
Do you want me to say the Smash announcer? Zomus.
No, it's like the way you pronounce it. It sounds like you're using a Z instead of an S.
Metroid can slide now.
Wasn't that in Returns?
No.
No, sliding wasn't in Returns. Beating shit with your gun was in Returns, and I'm glad that's back because that just felt fucking great. Something's coming to get you, just smack it out of the way with your gun and then blast it in the face. It's like, yes, they get it.
We are getting Tober materials, but it's not doing much hunter rank. I saw it when we finished the last one. It was like, beep. That was it.
Yeah.
But but it's still good materials.
Shouldn't need much for what he needs, and even then we'll be on the high rank shit right after us, and anyway, so we'll be back to good shit. The really fun thing has been seeing, people putting around, like, hey, here, like, what games in Metroid you have to play, like, do you want in story order and all that, and you look at it, and most of it's just, oh, you're gonna have to emulate this, because it's just buried on Nintendo's old handhelds.
Emulate slash Wii, emulate slash Wii, Wii U.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone's saying it. I gotta stop using the Insect Wave and Rise, though, that's for sure.
It's kind of like, unless you have, like, the Wii or Wii U Virtual Consoles, like, the only one you can really play legally of the 2D Metroids right now are, like, the original and Super Metroid, and that's it.
So I like how they put, the Zelda, not Zelda, the Samus fan game that that Nintendo hates on there. It's like, I didn't know it was an accurate, like, an actual replacement for Samus Returns.
To be honest, I kind of wouldn't say so. Like, don't get me wrong, it's extremely good. But it also kind of, gets away from sort of what Samus Returns was about in a lot of ways. And, like, there's a lot of... in being really good, it has, like, a lot of environmental and lore stuff to connect to, like, oh, this was an actual Chozo plant. And it's kind of like... The point is, it's meant to be a lot more desolate than this, though. Like, this is an abandoned hell world full of nightmare beasts. Don't get me wrong, like, as its own thing and all, extremely good. But as an actual, like,
hates it.
Samus Returns thing, it's kind of like, you kind of miss the point of it.
There was the fact that another Metroid 2 remake, which is the one we're talking about, that came out first, and then it got, like, get rid of it by Nintendo. And then they revealed, oh, look at this, it's Samus Returns for the 3DS. So
What
it was
the
like,
hell is it called?
What?
What the hell is that Samus 2 fan game called?
Another Metroid 2 remake.
What, AM2R?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, there's so many abbreviations like that. That I was like, is it that? No, that's the Raocow Mario World ROM hack competition. Is it that? No, that's the ear thing. They say another, but like...
There were a
What are
few
they
around when
referring
it
to?
started, because that thing started, like, legitimately, like, near 10 years after, like, before it, was released. It's kind of the funny thing was that, like, when it came out, it wasn't like Nintendo sniped it and then decided, oh, we're gonna make our own. It's like, by that point, Samus Returns was clearly already in development. Whenever, AM2R finished and was, made the rounds and all. So it was very obviously like, oh, that's unfortunate.
I kind of like the story where Nintendo was put in a bad light, though. So I'm gonna go with that, if you don't mind.
I mean, they still are put in a bad light, because the two are very different games, and, like, they could easily coexist. And Nintendo could just do the Sega thing, going, we could just pay them for it and make it a formal release and have two. But, they'd rather suppress it, kill everyone involved, and, censor the name of it out of history.
Yeah, it doesn't paint Nintendo in a good way, but I only bring it up because it's a real, curb your enthusiasm situation.
Yeah.
But like, to be fair, I think that releasing 2 Metroid 2 remakes would just be weird.
It would
Like,
be, yeah.
I don't blame Nintendo on that one at least, but it's just very unfortunate. I kind of feel like if that was how it went, where they were already making it, and then this fan game would come around at the same time. I feel like Nintendo's hands were kind of tied in that scenario.
Yeah, yeah. In a way, it was kind of like, oh fuck, that actually does hit the direct competitor to your product thing. The people like the skirt around for Fang. It's kind of like, okay, that it's literally like they're both remaking the same fucking game. So
This, this isn't like people are gonna play this stylized 2D Mario instead of fucking Super Mario Odyssey. We gotta
yeah,
get rid of it. It's like almost the same thing in a way.
yeah. More than most of Nintendo's like fan game snipes, this one you can at least see some logic somewhere to this one. It's kind of like, all right, fine. Even though it's still a complete dick move to do, and they shouldn't have done it.
Does anyone have high rank Toby Kadachi
Let me have a note there.
investigations?
Uh, I do, yes. I don't have any solo ones, that's the thing. There's a good one. It's got gold and silver, faint 2 times, but 4 players.
Well, we'll never make it.
There's 3 silvers, same condition. A lot of these are, a lot of the rest of these are just a part with another monster like Devil Joe or Great Jagras.
Now it's my turn to look. Because I was still in the hub.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still something you can't do in the hub, huh?
Yep.
And they'll only perfect it in Monster Hunter Rise.
So, like,
No, actually, that's the weird thing, though, is that World actually, in base game World, the Asteria Gathering Hub made the hub worse from where it was
Yep.
before.
it's because they wanted to focus on spectacle and visual splendor over actual functionality.
And then this one restored pretty much all the functionality. I think it's on par with what 4 had in Iceborne.
Wait, hold on. We might not even need to do this. Because I noticed the tiny icon that indicates that you can make one.
Forge.
Toby Kadachi Hardclaw Cathode Shard. Wait, are these master rank?
Shard is master rank, yeah. I actually do have Toei Kadachi master rank investigation. But that won't get his hunter rank is the only thing.
I have some Toby Kadachi. What did we want specifically?
Hold on. How do we feel about master rank in Kulve Taroth?
The nature of Kulve Taroth is that it won't make much of a difference because you're going to be running it like a dozen times anyway.
It's kind of what I'm thinking. So we could do the master rank one.
So wait, like, is it that you need master rank for the upgrade or for the forge? And can you just get
For
to the upgrade?
forge.
Can you just get to the upgrade with high rank ones anyway?
I mean, I can get to it with that, but why would we do that, right?
Hunter rank?
Well, there are better ways to get hunter rank.
Like,
Elder Dragons. I had that whole thing before. Certain, like that Coral quest where you'd fight every monster in the Coral Highlands. That was an easy one. It gives you a lot.
we could also just hunt high rank Kobe Kadachis.
I have high rank Toby Kadachi investigations.
It's not time efficient.
What do you want from me? Ah.
Let's do master rank.
Alright.
Master rank Toby?
Yes.
Wow. But it's I got him right. I got Toby right here. It's high rank Toby.
But have you considered that nothing will stop us?
No.
Wow, this one has a gold and a bunch of silvers. Can you top that?
No.
A gold and 3 silvers?
So what's the catch?
mate 2 times.
That's fine.
We're fucked. I was like, should I use the water one now? It's like, no, the same principle applies. Oh, there's the catch. It's also party members too.
Uh,
Man, that sucks because I used a voucher on that one.
Well, that posts mine now because it's gold, silver, bronze.
Gold, hold on. Nothing will stop us. She's right. What was my other one? Silver, silver, bronze, bronze. What was yours again?
Gold, silver, bronze.
That's probably better.
But yeah, like the general gist is like, yeah, if you only want to play the 2D Metroids for it, don't bother with the NES one. It's an academic curiosity at this point. And then you can either go in like story order or you can go in, you know, like ascending gameplay order essentially.
My wondering is, what if you're saying to avoid the first one, but why not just play Zero Mission? Isn't
Well, that
one
was
good?
that was my point. Yeah, that was gonna be my
Oh,
point.
okay.
Was you would go Zero Mission if you want to cover the first one.
Was it a remake?
Yep, Game Boy Advance remake of one.
Zero Mission is the remake of 1.
I never knew that.
Yeah, like story order would be Zero Mission, Zombie Returns, Super Metroid, Fusion, and then your Dread. Prime
That's not a lot.
is a separate storyline. It's not a lot, no. Prime's a separate storyline.
That's because Fusion came out in 2002, and that was the last mainline 2D Metroid.
Yep.
While Prime was popping off.
For 5 years after that, then it also got buried.
It makes it sound like there are no Metroid games.
I mean, there kind of aren't.
Wait, did you say Other M?
No.
What? Kevin, how could you leave out Other M?
Because Other
Because
M
it doesn't
is
exist.
a messy game to the point that it renders itself non-canon. Like, don't bother.
But again,
Like, there's no fucking point. Like, it doesn't play like any of the other ones. It has no, like, the connections that has the other ones are just bad. It contradicts itself routinely. It's also just a bad game to play. You don't need to play it.
it's not even an academic curiosity.
No, it's not. It has nothing of
so
value
bad.
it has nothing of value to offer to anyone or anything.
It's funny. You get to see Ridley as a tiny fluff ball for some
Nothing
reason.
of value.
It's funny. It gets
Kevin,
to
where
piss
you
you off
going?
with
I don't
that.
know. I was like, my thighs were leading me down here, and I just turned around. So fuck me, I guess.
Oh, what the fuck? It's over there. Okay.
It's right there the whole time.
And my flies are like, nope, down there into the fucking pit, my friend.
There he is.
Yeah.
I still can't get over the whole Adam thing during the direct.
Yeah, that was
It's like, this isn't bad
actually
Adam. This isn't
deeply
bad
funny.
Adam.
This is Fusion Adam, who's not Other M Adam. Please do not.
So is it the same person technically?
Technically, it's just that another M, Yoshio Sakamoto was like, I want to write my abuse romance fic.
Yeah, they're not the same personality.
Basically, it's meant to be the same guy, but, you know, the way Other M is, they're functionally very different characters.
He's not a piece of shit. Maybe.
I mean, he is, in some ways in Fusion, he is a piece of shit, but there's reasons, like actual plot reasons for it on, you know, on account of being an AI for your bosses and shit. So he's kind of like, oh no, you can't be doing this or whatever.
Wait,
But
Adam's not a person?
in Fusion, no,
Wait.
because the whole
You know
point
what,
is that
maybe that's
he's fucking
spoilers.
dead. That's
No,
the.
spoilers.
There's no spoiler. Well, not for Fusion anyway, because you learn that within the first 10 minutes when you meet him. And
Is
Zama's
Adam alive in any other Metroid game?
other M where he dies at the end. Because you're meant to
Oh,
think
no,
he's
damn it,
super.
spoilers!
Because you're meant to think he's
No
super
one likes
heroic
it.
and sexy and handsome. And it's like, no, he's just a stupid idiot fuck who's really incompetent at his job. And how clearly has woman problems. Like, he's just generally a waste. Don't know why we have to spend so much time to pretend he matters in any way.
Other M was supposed to be between Super Metroid and Fusion.
Yes, Other M is a prequel to
with that
Fusion,
one.
essentially.
Good
Ow.
job with that. Not really though, because it was a bad job.
It was an extremely bad job. And like clearly some elements of the story were planned out ahead of time because there's some lines in Fusions actually reference potential things that then Other M built on. So like, in a way it was very clear they had this idea already. It's just that, Other M is Other M and fucks it up.
Hey, do you like the Wii remote?
Hey Team Ninja, developers of really good 3D action games, you're not allowed an analog stick in our 3D action game. No, you can't do that. You'll be kicked off the project because I'm Yoshio Sakamoto and I say so.
Does it use motion controls?
Yep.
That's funny. So even if you emulate it, you need a Bluetooth thing in your computer.
Basically, it uses motion controls mainly for first-person aiming, which is, the please like us where we have Prime in our game, please, even though it's horribly implemented in every single possible way.
Actually, thinking on it, I don't think you needed it. Like,
You probably
Dolphin
don't.
does
You
such
could-
a good job.
You could probably get away with just using a control stick, honestly. Especially because it has this whole really neat thing where anytime you're in
Oh,
first-person mode, anytime you're in first-person mode in it and you're not like directly looking at enemies, they just kind of hover and don't attack you or anything. They have to be on screen and you looking at them for them to actually aggro on you because
The power of the Nintendo Wii.
if they didn't, the game would be such horrible bullshit. You would die all the time in first-person mode. This is the sign of a good mechanic.
Gavin, you still have wide range, right?
Yes.
You should
still wearing
probably cure
Lunastra.
both of your Thunder Blights.
Oh yeah.
Wait. Oh, I wasn't there when the fight started. That's why.
Yeah. Hang on. I have extras anyway, so boop and boop. And this will also just refresh our stamina stuff, so might as well.
It's just that easy. I don't think I have any constitution, so that the stamina thing's good. Oh yeah. This isn't where I want to be. Although I did forget about weakening, so I might as well do that while I'm at it.
The neat thing about like the Metroid story is that while you pretty much would like have to play Fusion like right before Dread if you wanted to be like completely accurate, they're all like for the most part distinct enough from each other. You can play them the 2D ones in any order, basically. So that's why I'm
But
saying
you
like
won't appreciate it
you still
as
can.
much. As much. You're robbing yourself.
Yeah, not really.
Unless you, like, are intimidated. If you were going to play all of them anyway, you might as well play them in order.
You might as well play them in order, but like, there's also something to be said with how gameplay oriented the series is to start from the earliest gameplay point and watch it evolve as you go upwards towards Dread. In that case, the order would be Super Metroid, Zero Mission, Fusion, Samus Returns, and then Dread.
Forget about Thunderblade.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get hits in instead of constantly hitting with Thunderblade. Well, I'm fine.
But then Evan can't get hits in because he's stunned. Man, is this what the Dragoon sounds like when you play the fucking Final Fantasy 14 game?
I don't know what the sound is.
It's like this, the sound of two pieces of metal rubbing against each other.
Oh yeah, no, you don't have that.
Ugh, I hate that. Doesn't even make any sense. I'm like, they're fucking glaive.
I accidentally hit the puke a bit with that one.
That's fine. He's
Now
going
he's
away.
Ow.
What? You're pissed? I hate you. Eat 30 damage or whatever.
Get. Yeah. Oh.
Ah, I was so close to actually working. Dun 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 dun.
But yeah, like any which way, like like all the Metroid games are easy to emulate. If you have a 3DS, you have Samus Returns right there. And even if you don't, there's another Metroid 2 remake on PC anyway, which will do either way in terms of plot stuff.
I bought the 3DS when it was overpriced, so I got Metroid Fusion with the games bonus thing they did.
And then never actually, because Nintendo resents money, never actually sold again. Even though they clearly had it working.
You're pissed again?
Probably because the other monsters here. When you hit like 3 monsters in one swing, and one of them is the bug. Fucker. But yeah, like there's not, because Nintendo's neglected the series, there's actually not a lot of Metroid games to worry about playing. There's exactly 4, in fact, if you just want to play Dread.
If you want a series with a lot of games, go play Super Mario.
Go play Zelda as well, honestly. But and then on the flip side, the Prime games is literally 1, 2, 3. There is Hunters on the DS, but that's completely irrelevant to everything. For now.
And they'll never re-release the Prime trilogy.
No.
So you better have a Wii.
Or an emulator.
Well,
or a Wii U. They re-released it on the Wii U.
That's true.
Everyone's
Yes, they
got
did.
that one.
is Prime 3 Wii?
Yes.
Yes.
So you can't even play them all on the GameCube?
Yeah, you can.
A Toby Kadachi Hardclaw. I need this.
It is the kind of thing like for Metroid Prime 3, I'd say you'd want pointer controls, so you wouldn't just you wouldn't just you wouldn't just try and like do it with control stick, because that game is meant for like actually designed around like free-form fast aiming instead of using a control stick. So if the Bluetooth option shit is probably the way forward. Ow.
Yeah, I was telling Luke about Dolphin because he doesn't believe in Dolphin. Or maybe he didn't. I don't know if he does now. And I was like, yeah, you can use the Wii remote with Dolphin. And he's like, what? He's like, how's that even work? So then we went on a whole thing where I'm like, yeah, it just uses Bluetooth. Does the Wii use Bluetooth to connect to the Wii remote? I'm like, I don't know. So we watched a video from like 13 years ago. This dude explained it. He was like, and a Bluetooth receptor. And I'm like, wow.
There you go.
Knowledge. He didn't even know about the infrared thing with the pointer and the double candle trick or anything. That blew his mind too. I'm like, yeah, the sensor bar isn't really an actual piece of technology.
Pretty much. This is why you can get like close enough accurate controls with just like the controller shaking in the fucking PS4 as well as the Switch Pro controller knife.
Yeah, the sensor bar is better than 2 candles though because it has 5
Candles.
5 lights. Yeah,
It has 5
candles.
candles.
And the Wii remote actually like uses that to determine how to tilt and stuff. That's Wii technology.
That's that shit they copyrighted because they bought it off some like American aviation company or kind of like, we need money for shit.
Also, if you're gonna play Metroid Prime on the Wii, get Wii Motion Plus. The Wii remote sucks otherwise.
I disagree entirely. It was perfect. It was actually like completely perfectly readily playable just with a regular Wii remote. And my only experience of Wii Motion Plus is Skyward Sword, which didn't work.
That's not fair. That's not fair.
I used 3 separate Wii Remote Pluses on that fucking game. I used 2 separate sensor bars. I used 2 separate Wiis. Didn't work. Not on any of them.
Yeah. At that point, it really makes you wonder if it's a problem with the game.
Yeah. My point is, though, you just use a regular Wii Remote. It's perfectly playable and fine with it. Wii Motion
Please
Plus.
purchase Skyward Sword HD for Nintendo Switch.
Please buy the amiibos for actual quality of life functionality that any other scene game would just include in this remaster, but, you know, we're Nintendo.
They did it again.
Boy, is he? I thought that was a limp.
Nah, he's being sly.
The heart rate is pretty low though.
It is, yeah. But he's not quite limping yet.
I was really hoping I could do the hammer thing with the insect waves descending thrust, but you can't. It just stops. It uses actual physics. Whereas if you have forward momentum, you can, you know, go farther. But to try to go backwards again, that's not good. That's not gonna work.
Ow.
You can tell this guy is tough because I had to sharpen my weapon. I didn't have to sharpen my weapon for Behemoth. But then again, I did die, so that's kind of not a fair comparison. Oh yeah, do we have the fireproof mantle?
Probably.
Because this is the one time where one of those mantles is actually worth something.
Against this guy, or?
I don't know, against Kulve Taroth.
Okay.
In my expert opinion.
No one be it.
Wow, that expert kid's pretty cool. I wish we could be friends on the internet.
I don't know if that was like a distant like bird creature yelling or your character going "oh" when they got thrown off.
That is probably my character being knocked down. I tried to do it again. It's just instinct, honestly.
It's a fun thing of, you know, you recommend like, you know, Mario, Zelda, Mega Man, any of those kind of, you have to play like 50 million games. Like you recommend Metroid, oh, you got 4.
Yeah, it's easier to swallow for sure.
And Prime is the bonus.
Prime's a bonus 3, yeah. All these games clock in at like 10 to 15 hours each.
I was just gonna say they aren't all 500 hours either.
They only get really long
Final
for exploring
Fantasy.
for 100%.
Kingdom Hearts.
I mean, Kingdom Hearts is also 15 to 20 hours.
Really?
Yep, per game. They're not very long for RPGs.
Man, I must have really not enjoyed watching them when I did that because they felt like they lasted forever.
Now, do you want to know like the super secret sauce? Final Fantasy games clock in at about 30 to 35.
That's still a lot.
It's a lot, but it's not the 60
It's
to
not
70
bad.
hours everyone claims.
But
because
it's not The Witcher 3.
it's not The Witcher 3, which is legitimately 120.
Speaking
So
of
it'll
which,
never be as good.
I wanted to bring this up. since we're not doing The Witcher, I think I'm gonna have. There's a special assignment. Talk to Geralt from The Witcher on the when I go
Yes.
back to the hub forever.
Yes.
You can do that, yeah, if you want.
Maybe I will, but
Evan
isn't it fun?
stream.
I don't know how well it'll stream. It worked that one time, but the other time I streamed it, it lagged too hard
Oh,
to
yeah, I
be
forgot.
effective. If it didn't, I would be streaming right now. Just like I streamed Final Fantasy with Gavin yesterday because it wasn't story content.
Oh, you saved me, and I have minded the creature.
Saved me.
Legitimately knocked me out of the way of the attack, and then I landed onto it. That's great. And it's
Oh, it's
going on.
capturable.
Is it? Do you have like the skulls up, or?
Yeah.
There you go. Sick.
Hooray!
But yeah, like
Now.
most of the length of like the Square Enix games and all is basically like, you're going for 100%, or it's people who were children and just bad at it and getting lost frequently, remembering it as being that long. If you're just playing it to play it, these games are all like pretty reasonable. Like Final Fantasy VII OG, you're talking like 30 hours. Like my most recent playthrough, even doing a lot of it, actually was 27.
Yeah, 27 hours is how long I spent trying to figure out how to get off of that island.
What island?
Destiny, the start of Kingdom Hearts 1, I assume.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
渡りの凍てつに行きましょう。レーゲーナの行方がわかるかもしれません。頑張っちゃうわよ。
Wishlisted this thing, right? Wow. I didn't. Wishlist
Didn't-
advocate hates wishlists?
I thought you even asked that earlier, and I thought you checked, but you didn't check earlier when you mentioned it, I guess?
This rampaging hypocrite.
No, wait, I did. Hello?
Okay, he just has brain
Oh,
damage, okay.
I mistook because it's called Kadachi Fury 1, so I'm like, oh, that's the first one, like, in the high rank thing.
Pardon me.
Oh, this has affinity 10%. That's fucking crazy. We need 3 more Tobi Kadachi shards.
I'll put it back
Kobe Kadachi, the bit shards.
up. Kobaya's Kadachi. But yeah, the Metroid Dread looks sick as hell. They're actually continuing like a lot of plot shit I thought they wouldn't dare go back to for whatever reason. It's coming out like October. I am screaming. We are all screaming. Nintendo wins like the easiest fucking E3 to win, and they did it by showing their A game anyway. Against all expectations.
I find it partly humorous because you went in saying, if Nintendo's gonna mess it up, they're gonna mess it up, and it was like, Metroid.
Nintendo
Metroid,
pointed
look
at
at
me and said, "Fuck you."
I mean, is it me or has Nintendo had like a big first party announcement for recent E3s? Or am I just like so used to chilling in the treehouse that I'm just like, yeah, this is something that's like excited and like worth showing.
Pardon me. I
'Cause
mean, like,
Odyssey was 1 year, right?
oh yeah,
was-
Odyssey was like the centerpiece for 1 year. Smash Ultimate was the centerpiece for another.
Yeah. Was
E3
E3 even last year?
didn't
Don't remember.
happen last year, but they might have had a
That
direct
explains
around
it.
the time. I forget, but to be fair, that was also like, the pandemic hits. So if nothing happened last year, that's really fine, honestly. I forget if they had anything big last year, and then this year, of course, it's like, haha. We actually do have something other than more recycled Mario Party and the same three games.
I kind of turned on recycled Mario Party. It's like if they're gonna be lazy, this is the best way to be lazy.
Also, yes,
Yeah.
I was correct. The announcement did say 5 boards from the Nintendo 64 game.
Yeah.
Okay. What were you saying, Chris?
This was if they're gonna be lazy about it, this is at least the best way to do it. Where it's like actual good boards and good mini games. Super Mario Party had good mini games, but awful boards. And like it's because when they did a collection before, it's like, oh, there are no boards. It's on the 3DS. I don't even think there's online or local play or anything. It's like, okay, stop.
Yeah.
At least this is like one step below just emulating all of the old Mario parties and then giving them online.
There is one better step I saw. Maybe go like, oh, that's actually like a good thing. On top of the online play, the online games have saves. Like it makes backup saves so you can stop if you need to, and it will also catch you if something goes wrong.
Now, if they add more boards post-release, then it would be even better. But they didn't do that for the last one when everyone asked for it.
They had one in mind, and then stopped. Sorry if you guys are waiting for me. I have to send Luke this picture of depressed Waluigi.
Why?
Because I'm like, hey, do you want to hang out and play Rise on Monday? And he's like, I gotta do a bunch of car shit again.
I gotta fuck my car.
He gets a sad picture of Waluigi that Rob Alpaca Patrol drew.
I got a new tailpipe. I came in it 5 times.
Shards are probably just nothing, right?
I think they're like the default scale thing where you beat it and it shits them basically. That being said, that we're not going to see shards for like 3 hours.
Hooray! Oh, that's defense up. I don't want that.
Actually, I can upgrade this water axe for the Jura axe because we fought the Juratotus to get Hammer, his slightly better gun. I just need 2 Gaju hides, so I think if I do like an expedition for 2 minutes,
Yeah,
I
go
can
ahead.
upgrade this axe.
Beat
I'm gonna
fish.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That'll
you can
make
just
Toby
come
faster.
in anyway.
Yes, that's fine.
So do you want us just to head in then?
If you'd like,
Alright.
get a head start.
There's the sad Waluigi in the Discord chat.
That is an eerily good face, all things considered.
Have you guys ever seen Gartic Phone?
No.
Nope.
So like, it's like a mix between Whisper Down the Lane and Drawful, where everyone just writes whatever prompt they want, and then you try to you get the prompt, and then you try to draw the prompt, and then someone gets a picture or the picture that you drew, and they have to describe what it is.
Yeah.
And if you suck at drawing, then it could be radically different. And then you repeat the process a few times, and it's so good.
I've heard that, but I'm pretty sure it was called Broken Picture Phone. Like it's a game of phone, but it's pictures.
I mean, I've never heard of that if it's a game, but
Yeah.
Gartic Phone's the new hotness. I don't know what Gartic means. Everyone thinks that's garlic.
Wait, you don't know what I mean when I say like telephone, like the game?
Are you saying that it's like that, or are you saying that there's
Broken
another
Picture
game?
Phone is like Pictionary Drawful, but it's like a game of telephone where like it starts as one message and you try and pass it on, but through images, and then the message gets messed up over time.
Yeah, it's probably similar, the same thing.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna kill these Gajus and get some little big stuff.
Get you some hide.
Stop moving, you piece.
You piece.
One Piece.
Anime, One Piece. Wow, a large wyvern tear.
I almost did it. I almost said tear.
I say it to piss Luke off. Are you like stuck in the ground? Are you okay? Do you require assistance? Oh, he's pissed.
He's muggered.
Hey, can you weaken him while you're on there? Just kidding. I'll do it.
Why?
Man, good thing I'm not streaming this. All these critical hits would cause an epilepsy.
Yeah, I know. It's great for my rendering. Also, the giant blue neon particle effect ball floating around.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, but
You
it's
think that
but it's a Final Fantasy reference, so it gets a pass.
Do you think that it causes your computer to run like 5% slower, Evan?
No. I have my settings turned down enough that I get locked 30. It has not had a noticeable effect.
The explosion. Chris, hit the explosion. There we go. Ah, no!
Did he blast you off the edge?
Yep. Thank God. If that wasn't one of those, like, press circle to jump down at things, I would have fallen down that too. I didn't even know that was there.
Oh, he way overshot me. He's going for you down there.
Well, too bad. I'm up here again.
I do not believe that quite worked, but it did. Eat shit. A clutch clawed him in the middle of his jump to another tree, rode along with him, and did the attack at the other tree. And he just fell off it.
You know what we could do?
What?
We could do Mario Party.
To be honest, I'm surprised you hadn't already brought that up.
Chris, we can do whatever you want!
It's like this isn't meant to be an insult or anything. It's just like a mental curiosity. But Gavin doesn't strike me as like a Mario Party guy. So
Chris,
I
you already
imagine that's why
know
my
the
brain-
absolute rampaging fury that 100% orange juice leaves me in. What do you think, Mario?
Maybe that's it. My brain that just wrote off all 4-player board game party games.
But the nature
Yeah,
of Mario Party is different enough. It won't be
You
just.
can't die in it.
I can't die in it and be told, well, you just have to fuck off for like 5 hours. So, like I don't know, I'm game.
Unless you play Mario Party 1, I think. That one has skip turns, I think, right?
I feel like some of them do, but they're board effects, and that's whatever. That happens if it happens. It's not like a player can just shut you down for the entire game. Chris?
What?
No, Mario Party 2 has the mushroom space, where it's a red mushroom or a poison mushroom.
And it's
if you land
random,
on it,
even though it doesn't look like it.
it's a coin flip, and if you get the poison mushroom, your next turn is skip. So Mario Party 2 also has a turn skip.
Yeah, also, one thing that is just very good about this Mario Party remake, what's it called? It's not Super Mario, it's
Mario
Mario
Party
Party
Superstars.
Super something.
Superstars.
That, like, they have battle spaces, but unlike in Mario Party 3, they go away after you do them once. At least that's how they worked in Super Mario Party. So, you know, unlike Mario Party 3, the entire game isn't just battle minigames. That's my biggest gripe with Mario Party 3. And why it will never be as good as Mario Party 2. Despite them being so similar.
But I really like Mario Party 3. No,
Shut up, Waluigi fan!
I don't even like them that much. I just like the wacky stuff.
Clip that and send it to Carl.
Oh no. I like them a medium amount only.
He's
Not the
falling asleep.
most, but not the least. This is
I was
also
like-
this expedition's taking too long.
I was like, falling asleep from what?
My cat
Like,
has a
that
sleep
comment
weapon.
came just in time because I just remembered that's only us.
Yeah, my cat has
Uh,
a sleep weapon, so...
Let's put it in the claws, because those are harder to break.
do you want to bust it, or will I?
I mean, I can do it from a distance, but that's about as special as I get. If you have a big move.
That'll do it.
That'll do, pig. That'll do. I don't even know what the original line is, but it
It
sounds
is
like
just,
a movie
that'll
reference.
do, pig, that'll do.
What's that from?
Fuck, that's, what is it? What do you call it? The thing, the boys on the island.
The one where they... Oh, no, that's spoilers.
Lord of the Flies.
That's it.
Yeah! That's the only thing I remember from that book, is, like, there was a rock. And you know what happens with the rock if you read it. Or am I thinking of something else?
No, you're right.
You know, we really should have lured him down to the center now that he's running away. Huh?
Yeah.
Spoilers for classic literature.
Hey, some people might be in elementary school still. But I think I read that in 8th grade. So they might still be in 7th grade.
What ages is that grade?
I don't fucking know, dude. It's always younger than I expect. I'm like, I was in high school when I was 14? What?
Yeah, I was gonna be like,
Seventh grade is like 13.
okay, I was gonna be like, I feel like that's a little fucked up for like 11 or whatever, but then I remember we read a World War One book, and all was set in World War One in like primary 7, so when you're 10 or 11, there's a vivid description of a man being blown up and his bits being strewn all over the field in front of a guy. In that book.
Also,
It's
you're
like-
from Northern Ireland.
We're from Northern Ireland, so that's just part of the scenery.
Since I imagine the history's a little more intense there.
I mean, you know, my mom had seen such things growing up as a kid herself, so as you do.
And all you get is people complaining about Smash Brothers.
I don't know how I make reference to that particular controversy either way.
But that's a big part of E3.
All I'm gonna say is that the apparent original comment that started that you know, like Tekken doesn't have the reach of Nintendo 64 platformer. It's like, oh fuck's sake, come on, mate. Like, who are you kidding?
Like, it's just not fair, you know?
Yeah.
It's not fair. The Smash Bros. Fans make it hard to like anything because anyone who's anti-Smash Bros. Is so anti-Smash Bros. That's like kind of annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's kind of like, okay, like, I fucking get it, mate, move on.
You're not allowed to respect Super Smash Brothers as like a game that, despite everything, like tries to be competitive because it's not a fighting game. You fucking idiot.
I'm finally showing up, but I think I'm too late for the big rewards.
Probably.
Did you see the thing about calling the fighting game characters Shotos or whatever?
I did. That entire thing's fucking stupid, and I know, given what we just said, you're right, no, but also fuck Smash players.
It's- not all Smash players. Okay. And not all Waluigi fans.
No, yes, all Waluigi.
Not all Waluigi fans.
Legitimately,
Put
though,
that
like
and send it to Carl.
on that one, just like legitimately fuck the Smash players. Like you're talking insane, you lunatics.
I mean, I know it's out of a place of spite, so the argument of like, well, if it wasn't out of a place of spite, it would be like an interesting kind of conversation because there's so many fighting game characters in Smash, right? Which is a good thing. But, you know, the idea is that a lot of people think it's not a good thing, even though it is. And then, you know, I saw one person that's like, well, if we do take this seriously for a second, I think a good one would just be FGs. Like FG lowercase s.
Sure.
Because it's like species.
Yeah.
And then fighting games. You know, fighting game characters, you just call them that.
Sure.
I'm like, you know what? I might adopt that. That's a good one.
That's a fine one. Like that's one that, you know, once you hear it, you're kind of like, okay, that makes sense. The idea is they play more like other fighting game characters because they are other fighting games characters.
It's kind of funny that I'm like, I understand the people who like want a shorter term because fighting game characters is kind of clunky. When I'm the guy who's like, oh, I'm sorry, it's like 3 syllables too much for you. Everything has to be 1 syllable.
I'm exactly that. Unironically, I'm kind of you are small children with tiny brains.
That's also me for most things, but for this, I think it's a bit of an exception.
Oh, they're having a fight. Whoa.
Since we're talking about Smash Bros, I'll say it again.
Yep.
Gluttons who would not be satisfied with all the riches of heaven.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, if they were gonna add a Tekken character, they should have added the bear.
Should have added King. That's an awful lot of thing.
And King's the one with the
leopard head.
Leopard
He's the ultra grappler who has like a 600 string if you know how to do all his buttons correctly.
I mean, there are only 2 Tekken characters I know. King and the bear, which I think is named Kuma, probably. So, I'd be down with King.
I haven't played Tekken 7, and the last one I personally played was Dark Resurrection on PSP. And before that was 3 on PS1. But I've seen a lot of 7, and you know, I know characters and shit from there are kind of like, peak aesthetics. But it is the, you know, I understand their choice anyway, because Kazuya is kind of like, you know, he defined iconic. 1 and 2, he's the icon, he's the guy. And there is the point that it probably would have been Heihachi if his voice actor didn't die, and then the replacement voice actor didn't also die.
Which one's Heihachi?
He's the old man with like the stand-up hair. You know?
Oh yeah, with the weird like devil horn hair.
Yeah, him.
He's in the background of the Smash stage, but that's it.
Yep, his voice actor died, and then they got to replace him for 7, and then he died as well. And it's kind of like, you just kind of feel for the devs at that point. You're kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Too much is going on.
That means we're winning.
Hiya!
Let us know if you see skulls, because he is low.
Yeah, there's skulls.
Alright, let's get him.
Oh yeah! Ow, don't hit me, you piece of shit.
There we go.
Cool.
I mean, I think, like, objectively, it's a good pick for, like, Tekken.
Yeah. It is a natural pick as well.
Personally.
Because, like,
The
Namco
only
Bandai
other-
literally co-developed the game, so come on.
That's what I was about to say. The only other Namco character was Pac-Man, and Pac-Man should be there because he's great. But now they got another Namco character.
I was, like, under the impression that there was another Namco character in there, but no.
No.
We are getting a little bit of HR.
I'm actually 50 now, so yay.
Yay. I'm not.
You have to do the, monkey ball one. Yay!
Yay!
You can play as a Sega Saturn in the new monkey ball.
That's actually really funny.
I don't know if that was just the retro Sega console I thought of first. I don't know if it's actually on there.
Oh, I was kind of hoping. No, it would be a Dreamcast. Actually, I think it should be.
No, Dreamcast wasn't on there because I would have been like, oh, I know that one. I would play as that. It's
Yeah.
like, what are ancient Sega consoles again?
Master System, Mega Drive,
Yeah.
Mega
Yeah.
CD, Mega 32X, Mega 32X CD, the Nomad, the Saturn, the Dreamcast, dead.
Don't forget about the canceled one, the Neptune,
The
which was
Neptune.
supposed to be a standalone 32X.
Sega's console lineup kind of pisses me off.
I mean, it pissed off most other people as well, which is why it doesn't exist anymore.
That'd be like if Nintendo released like, you know, a Switch Pro, a 3DS, a new 3DS.
A 3DS TV.
If they released a Satellaview or something. Okay, well, I'm done with Toby Kadachi stuff. So if you want to fuck it up in the Coral Highlands, then we could do that.
I guess so, yeah.
Or we could hunt an Elder Dragon. My weapon has high Elder Steel.
So does mine.
But I think the most efficient one was that one because all the monsters will be weak and it'll go by faster. That's probably
Aye.
more points.
What was that one again? That was an event.
Coral Waltz. I don't know why like the other ones, like the Elder's Recess and Rotten Vale weren't there, but they weren't. So
It might have been like a hunter rank thing, who knows. Coral Waltz.
what else was at E3? Nintendo E3, the only one worth talking about.
I mean, you know, Square Enix is worth talking about, but not for reasons Square Enix wants you to talk about it. Did you ever get those Gajara hides, Evan?
I did. I showed up with my new axe.
Sick. So there was. We mentioned Advance Wars.
I don't know anything about it. The toy aesthetic is relatively harmless, if a bit strange, but I do like the portraits. That's about where I stand on that one.
I think the art style and the portraits are fine, except for Max, who's now more chin than man. But apart from that, it looks pretty good.
Which one is Max?
Yeah, he's
The
blue
big
haired
muscle
guy.
man.
Big blue haired muscle
Blue
man.
hair.
Was he the enemy in the treehouse?
No, I don't know.
I don't know, I wasn't watching the treehouse. Like, I watched the Dread bit, and then I kind of just fell into a catatonic state.
Did you see the second one?
I didn't know there was a second one.
Yeah, they went back to Dread at the end of Treehouse
Hmm.
and showed a later part of the game to be like, here's the game when there's a bit more stuff going on.
I might just pass on that then, just for, you know. Because I might see something that make me just yell, yeah!
Max is the one in the back.
Oh yeah, I didn't see him in the game footage.
He didn't have that much chin in the original, and he looked better for it. Otherwise,
Me when I'm a snowplow.
otherwise it all looks pretty good.
Shovel chin.
They did have some other things, like the WarioWare exists again. I guess, like, in general, Yoshio Sakamoto has come alive and was like, oh yeah, franchises I worked on.
Yeah, I still have negative thoughts on that one, even though I did compliment it.
Well, that's how you know you're capital O objective.
Just be a second.
Yeah.
What do you think about this new twist on WarioWare?
I mean, it looks like a fun enough game. I agree that it would be better if it was just raw Wario where you have one button and maybe directions go, and I think that would ultimately be better, but it still looks fine. So like, it looks fun. I'd wait to see how much shit it has in it before I'd buy it or anything, but looks fun.
I think I've determined that I'm only going to buy it if it has 4-player competitive. And even then, the fucking unique characters thing. Not only are they ugly, but it's like you're just kind of opening yourself up to people just picking the same ones. Like it's interesting that you could do this as Wario with a jetpack or 18 volt sitting on the ground throwing shit, and then multiply that by like 12. But at the same time, I feel like the novelty's gonna wear off,
Probably.
and it's not gonna be that interesting. Like, because the idea is for something like that, you'd puzzle out how to do it, but because it's WarioWare, it's probably designed to be able to be figured out within 5 seconds anyway.
What is it? There we go. Okay, I'm good now.
Also, I'm
So-
sick of the goddamn Wario Land shoulder bash. Just give us a fucking game.
I
It's not
am
enough anymore.
I am like passing hopeful that they're gonna let Way Forward remake Wario Land 4. Like they got the foot in
Yeah.
the door with Advance Wars. If they let Way Forward with their art style and all that do Wario Land 4 just exactly as it was, just with their art style, I start clapping and then I kind of don't stop.
Also, with Samus finally coming back, it's like with that thing where it's like, yeah, you can never count Nintendo's franchises out entirely ever. So, Wario Land still has a chance to come back.
And also, every year we are closer to Miyamoto retiring and thus things getting better.
They were probably like,
Where the hell are we going?
I don't know.
Like this way.
Here's the problem. I feel like you're both talking about WarioWare as if it was gone for years, when in reality, WarioWare Gold was.
No, I mean
not that
Wario
long.
Land. We're talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
Wario Land.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even before that, you were talking like WarioWare is back. It's
Okay, well,
hasn't really
here's
left
my
long
thing.
enough.
WarioWare Gold, was that a completely original
Basically
content?
solo. Yeah. Well, it was like a bunch of remakes.
Okay, so
But
it
it
was
was,
just
micro
another.
games.
It was just recycling and rehashing old shit as Nintendo
Yeah.
is wont to
On
do.
the-
So
That's the thing, though,
so
is if
that's
you-
basically being in a state of stasis.
On the 3DS, so you can't play local multiplayer unless other people have a 3DS. It did have like 3DS download play, but
You need a 3DS. Wee.
the best thing that Wario Land, well, the two best things that Wario Land Gold brought were full Wario voice acting. That's number one, and then number two are the new designs, which I guess are like kind of old designs, but they look better for sure. The fact that they're reusing them wholesale for the new game, I don't know how I feel about that. It's like so good you don't change it, but at the same time they're literally the same.
See, from my perspective though, is WarioWare Gold was the equivalent to Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix. Or it wasn't entirely remake, so I feel like it. At the very least, it says this franchise still has a pulse. Everybody.
I don't know. I'm kind of of the mind that unless it's like you're going full tilt, like remaster or actual remake, if you're just like taking the old things and just bringing them in as is, that's not like, oh, this is still alive. That's a we need to fill a schedule slot, and
I feel
that's
like
not a
the-
signal of life to me. That's just immensely cynical. Buy our shite.
Well, that was-
I don't think that. I don't think that. It's like, WarioWare Gold was still a good game. Like, it had a lot of personality. The games were still fun. It's just it didn't have the multiplayer. You know. I feel like the thing with WarioWare is like, you're probably not gonna remember most of them anyway, especially if you didn't play like fucking Twisted or whatever.
Which was released here because Mercury is illegal.
I didn't think it was that bad. It was just kind of annoying that it was on the 3DS.
I played WarioWare Twisted.
Yeah.
I think now that they finally have WarioWare out on Switch, then they'll be like, hey, WarioWare comes first every time. And then after that, we can do Wario Land.
Or Wario Master of the Skies.
No. Wario's transformations in Wario Land were better.
They were. What are we even tracking at the moment?
Nothing.
What? Like, Pink Rathian. We don't have enough shit to track the other ones. Fine, let's just wander around until we see one.
Look at this guy climbing the fucking thing.
I still got up before you.
Yeah, because you were 2/3 of the way there. I kind of missed the dog and how you could just hold the R button to keep going forward,
There's
so I could scratch
Rathian.
my nose.
Where are you going?
I did the professional move earlier while the Tsutsuyaku was climbing. I clutch clawed it, and I'd climbed that way just by not climbing.
Actually, I should have put my cynicism aside for like 2 seconds to be like, the Switch is the multiplayer console, so of course we want WarioWare first. But I just couldn't help myself. If I said Wario Land, I'm sorry. For some reason, they're very close in my head, even though I separate them as much as possible.
Get. Dude. It shot that like diagonal in the air after your fucking dragon head. That's wild.
I don't know if it's because I noticed it in Rise or because it does it more in Rise, but that tail flip move just kind of pisses me off. It's like, hey, you have more moves than that, you piece of shit.
I mean, it's great in Rise when I have, you know, like 2 bugs, because that's a super easy one to get the wire bug parry on. And that means you're more likely just to cut the fucking tail off just as it flips at you. And
Wow,
then
Hey,
you
look
feel
at the
like,
tail.
Did you see that timing? We even fought this thing yet?
We have to fight this in
Yeah.
the story.
Okay, I'm thinking of something else. No spoilers, though.
Can't talk about the hidden iceborne monster, the Rathugo. The in-between.
Oh, it's already limping.
Oh, they are all little shitlings.
Oh, come on.
Rip.
There it goes.
Where are you going? That way. Hey, Legiana.
That's one of them.
We'll come back for you.
No, Chris is already irritating it.
No, you
Might
might
as
as well. I guess we can go finish off the... Let's go blow the shit out of this. Do I have the bombs with me? No, I don't. But I can nick them, actually.
It's pissed at nothing. What an idiot.
It's coming this way. You might want to be quick.
And it hit both of them because I'm talented. Hey, I found the Paloma. It's right underneath us.
Excellent. All monsters melee. Let's go.
Multi-monster melee.
So like, I guess there's another E3 one is like because it was a Nintendo show along with every other fucking show. Anyone else sick of Monster Hunter Stories 2?
I'm like, is this what the tropical freeze people were talking about?
Yeah.
But like, tropical freeze is my third favorite game of all time. I can't think of it for
This is what I was feeling with like that Captain Toad in that one hell time of the Nintendo Directs.
Wait, did you say it was your favorite game?
No, it's my third favorite game.
Oh, I thought you said favorite. I was like, but that discounts Super Mario Sunshine, your favorite game, and Paper Mario, your favorite game.
I have to replay Paper Mario to reaffirm it's at the top of the tower there.
Reaffirm or reassess?
Reaffirm. Because I feel like it's still number one.
I just want to
It's just Sunshine has taken my eye for the past like year because of 3D all scam and stuff.
I like how neatly you said that, like it was just completely natural. You
What?
didn't have to like load in the word scam instead, you just said it off the cuff.
I've been calling it that like ever since. And people start laughing and I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, you haven't heard that one yet?
I actually haven't, no.
You definitely have. I've definitely said that in your presence.
You probably, but not like a consistent thing, so it surprises me when it comes off so neatly.
You not do this? Oh, I just got ice blight. It's okay. That hurt me. But
Working
whatever.
on it.
But yeah, like also the benefit that Sunshine has over Paper Mario, on top of it being on the Switch now, is like it's just easier to pick up and play and then show off. You
Yeah.
can't really do that with an RPG, huh?
Depends on the RPG.
People can respect me doing gelato skip, but people can't respect the sound of the menu bar going up and down the same way I do.
What?
Boop, boop. I'm like, oh, it makes me feel happy.
People can probably appreciate me getting very mad about the recent Final Fantasy 9 ports having a different sound effect for menus. It's technically the same, they're just like, I don't know if they're playing it differently or like filtering it differently or whatever.
Is it like in like most of the ports of Super Mario World, how the end level jingle goes, woo, woo, like it goes higher pitch instead of lower pitch?
Kind of, yeah. Like you can tell
That pisses me off.
it's the same kind of sound or like even the same sound, but they're playing it or using it differently. It's just kind of like, this is hell. This is terrible. You are fucking me with this. And then I tell people to emulate it instead.
I'm not, that would fuck with me because I'm the fucking sound effects guy. I'm like, hey, this thing that definitely doesn't sound like this thing sounds like it's from this specific sound effect from this specific game. Wow, this is like the Plangellos from Super Mario Sunshine.
But it is, you know, if you didn't play 9 excessively in your childhood to the point that you remember the entire thing off by length for its entire 35 hours, then, you know, probably won't have that problem. I admit that's an insanely me thing.
There we go. It's about damn time. Too bad Final Fantasy IX isn't considered retro, so it won't get remade 50 times.
What one's that a reference to?
Them constantly remastering like the first 3 Final Fantasies,
Oh, yeah.
or like porting them and all that shit. It's like, shut up. It's like you're like Nintendo. Grow up.
1 through 6. That's the one that's in the new remaster.
To be fair, the previous remasters looked garbage.
Oh yeah, the previous remasters for 1 through 6 was actually the mobile versions.
Which were
I think
really bad.
I think people are saying that this one also looks garbage.
I mean, that's because a lot of them are screaming that Final Fantasy is dead because of Stranger of Paradise, because they're small children.
No, not that. I mean, like, the sprites in this remake look smoothed out and shit like that.
Nah, like, we've seen,
The
like,
menu-
direct comparisons and shit, and it's kind of like, nah, that, like, it looks fine. Like, they're not exactly the
didn't
same, but they
properly
are very
wire it.
close.
Oh, it's limping.
Yeah. And anyone who's like, oh, well, you know, it still looks garbage is just being contrarian for the sake of it.
We'll see. I don't trust them. You can only make so many mobile ports of games before I can trust you anymore. Is it going all the way to the top? I
Yes.
feel like going up there to carve it. No.
I'll go up and kill it if you just want to go for the Paloma.
Is Final Fantasy IX represented in Itadaki Street?
I don't know.
Sorry, that's vague. In PS Fortune Street? I'm trying to remember.
Zidane might be playable. Or him or Vivi, it's one of the two usually. But I don't know.
Man, I wish they vocalized that.
I love Fortune Street. Even if they did, I wouldn't have it. I don't have a PS4.
If I didn't have a PS4, I would buy it for Fortune Street. The game that seems like, you know, you hear it conceptually and you're like, there's no way in hell I'm loving that. Why is this guy even recommending it? And then you do.
I don't have any bombs on me. If you're coming up, Evan, you want us to shoot it in the face.
Did it.
On the note of Final Fantasy, that is all, like, the entire shit around Stranger of Paradise is just Gavin yells like an old man and all these new people who claim to like Final Fantasy and very blatantly don't.
It feels rather clear at this point that Square is like, Final Fantasy can be an action RPG, and we're also selling Dragon Quest, an RPG. And that's like what their plan is, like, oh, you got Dragon Quest if you want a real, just an RPG.
It's not even
Paper
that.
Mario War flashbacks.
It's not even that though. The issue isn't that it's an action RPG. The issue is people like, this dude in like regular looking clothing is the complete decay of all Final Fantasy. There's no fantasy in this fantasy game. I wish it was all back to pure high fantasy like old Final Fantasies with their spaceships, alien dimensions, time travel loops in Final Fantasy 1, War Machine in Final Fantasy 1. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
Yes.
Visually, though, this one seems kind of dark, you know?
It is extremely dark, but it is also the one level. Because
It's what?
it's one level. Because this is Final Fantasy Neo. Neo is a level. You know the Neo games? You're like Samurai Man. And
Oh, are they the
Kyoto.
developers of Neo?
Yep, and this is extremely blatantly down to very specific animations for your guy and the enemies both. Final Fantasy Neo. Like, it has, you know, it has the bonfire thing from the Souls and Neo. It has, like, a lot of the same mechanics as Neo specifically. You know, it is just blatantly that. And the thing about Neo, compared to, like, the other Soulsborns, is that it's not one fixed world. It's multiple levels you go in and out of.
Is there a poison swamp?
Yes.
Oh my god!
This will probably also have a poison swamp as well.
But wasn't the new Dark Souls developer
Yeah.
game shown off and it has a
Elden
poison
Soul,
swamp
like,
in it?
yeah, Elden Rings, and they say, like, you were going to poison swamps, and we all made the Mikolash, oh, scream at that.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people that was the highlight of E3.
Rightfully so, honestly.
So many people were waiting for Elden Ring.
That, like, for the last several dozen, like, game shows, the Reddit for that has been a fucking laugh, because they've long been deranged. So whenever this finally happened, like, the screeching the joy, the actual, just everyone posting just over and over again, was just beautiful to see.
Did it get a release date? I
Yep.
think so, right?
I think it's actually the same week as Pokemon Legends, so, you know, like, rip Pokemon Legends.
Yep. Pokemon isn't good anymore anyway. I haven't played new Pokemon Snap though. But like, I mean, you can't just show a trailer like that and expect everyone to be like, yeah, it's cool. After the Sword and Shield thing, you just can't. Oh, but the Sword and Shield complainers are so annoying. It was still a good game, but like, it still is just.
I mean, I can, because you're comparing a big RPG to a real shooter.
Wait,
It's like, like they're not.
are you talking about new Pokemon Snap?
Yeah, it's a real shooter. That's what those are.
I'm talking about Pokemon Legends
Oh.
and how it still like kind of looks like garbage, and you know it's not going to get better.
I don't
Like
agree that
visually
it's
it looks
garbage.
like garbage.
No.
Visually it looks
No,
like garbage.
visually it doesn't look like garbage at all. People saying that haven't seen actual garbage.
Hey, look, he's limping.
Look like Pokemon Sword and Shield.
I was thinking more Paper Mario or Gabby King. But
I think that's this aesthetic you don't like, you know? It's fair.
I mean, that's kind of the same thing with Pokemon Legends, to be fair. Like, I think, you know, it's the some part of the people, like, the reason people are complaining is like this. Don't get me wrong, the pop-in for the trees and all is like silly, but that's also something that can be fixed in the year plus they have from announcement to release.
But it won't be.
Probably will be.
That's the part where it just makes me depression. Just give them time, please. That's all.
It
I
really
want.
is just they should be given more time for all their shit, because, you know, otherwise you get all this. But at the same time, you know, it is kind of like, I think it looks fine. Like, the pop-in's kind of nuts, and that's about it.
It's like you hit me with this lack of faith in the Pokemon Company right when I lose all like my live decks and my 160 bred Pokemon on my 3DS that still hasn't shown up, and I just can't care about Pokemon anymore.
I mean, that's valid. But I am also biased because I think Sword and Shield is the best Pokemon game.
Smallest.
Ice Res Heavy. Eventually we'll get a good decoration out of some of these things. Hey, smallest.
Hunter rank 48.
I didn't even see what mine is. 47. So we could do that again or something else.
Up to use. We could just keep running it while yelling about Nintendo franchises.
Oh, let me double check this.
What are you checking?
The Hunter rank things.
Wasn't it actually like there's one in no, that was the one we were doing for bits. I was like, isn't there one in the arena we actually do for like high Hunter rank? But I'm probably misremembering.
Are you the one with the tables? No, you're just text. I don't like you.
But yeah,
you're like no ad blocker. Goodbye.
to go back to the Stranger of Paradise Fantasy Origins thing, it's just like, it's deeply fucking funny seeing people say shit like it's ruining classic Final Fantasy, and then the very same people turn around and say, oh, he's just yelling about the concept of chaos. It's like, you haven't played the games you claim to play and love and are trying to protect. Because chaos isn't a concept, it's a literal guy. It's the final boss of Final Fantasy 1. He's yelling about it. We saw Garland in the trailer. It's Final Fantasy 1. None of you know anything you claim to know or love. You are all fake and false and small children. Get out of my house. And it does just help that it's even in this early demo, incredibly fucking sick game. Like it's just really good.
And part of me wonders how much of it is people needing to fill up their negative E3 quota. It's Coral Waltz.
Remember in Square Enix E3, we saw Estinian for 5 seconds.
What did we?
He was in a
Yeah.
montage, yeah.
The little montage at the end.
Is this like people where they're like, there's Puyo representation, but it's in that Sega logo that's made up of all their IPs and stuff, so it doesn't fucking count?
Well, like most of the people saying like Final Fantasy is dead, they don't go back to High Fantasy anymore. Just don't count 14 because it's an MMO. Even though it has exactly the things they want in spades. But so it goes. I guess in a way, the Final Fantasy discourse is my Banjo versus Tekken discourse.
Coral Waltz gives us 1,800, and then like Xenojiva gives us 1,000, and Tempered Monster Investigations give us 1,200. So I think this is the way to go.
Fair enough. I'll throw it up again. So like, I guess that's a question for the two of you, just to be clear. Like, what was your personal highlights of E3?
I don't know. It's because you're asking for the personal one, right?
Yeah, like what
But
personally made you go hee hee the most?
I feel like my empathy, like, makes fucking Samus the highlight of E3 because
Okay.
it's just so big and so impressive.
Okay,
But
let's pretend
I'll-
you're not feeling threatened by my pulsing aura telling you to pick Metroid Dread.
but I'm serious. It makes me really happy that like they had a big announcement and it was the first 2D Metroid in 19 years, and it actually looks good and polished and fun, and it's like, you know, I'm like, I have a million game series to play, but you know that kind of
Yes,
bumps up
you do.
Metroid a lot.
Metroid is very quick, so you could.
Bumps it way up the list. You know, like it's all that kind of stuff. Everyone being psyched about it, and you know, the comfiness of the wind down of Nintendo's E3, and everyone's talking about Metroid. It's just like that kind of thing. But as far as like actual game that I'm excited to buy and play, I don't really know. I always need a list of these kinds of things if it's not like fucking Super Mario Odyssey. Like maybe the Mario Party, ironically. Feel like I'm gonna get a lot out of that.
Yeah. And I
It was,
suspect that...
it was Advanced Wars because they reanimated a corpse.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I suspect I know Evans already because we went over it, but...
Wait, do you mean E3 as a whole? Now it fucking matters. It's in the Nintendo category.
Yeah,
for me anyway.
yeah, like anything you saw at or during E3 that was like, this is the one for me. 'Cause-
5 seconds of Estinian. That was my other highlight.
Monster Hunter Stories too.
uh,
What if it's good? It could be.
the thing is, it probably
It's
is
probably
pretty good. Like, I might even get it like a lot long still. Anyway, it is just kind of like, I'm kind of fucking sick of the sight of it though.
I think that Capcom's afraid that a lot of people, especially since Rise came out, a lot of people just will shove it under the rug because it's not mainline Monster Hunter. So they want to like advertise it and like get people to be like, "Oh, that actually looks fun. I'll actually buy it," instead of like shove it to the back of my mind until it's too late to actually want it anymore.
But then
Which is fair.
They
but...
did that in the worst possible way. I heard that there's a quest up, but I think I forgot to put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's also like not everyone watches every conference, so like I also kind of get it on that front.
Like, yeah, but
This has been before E3, but like the kind of showing up at like 5 of the E3s is kind of like the tipping point.
yeah. I kind of get the, not everyone watches every conference argument. The thing is, everyone who's interested will see the trailers and news filter out from each one anyway. So you still only need to appear at one for that.
Unless you're my roommate Luke Rowe, who doesn't keep up with anything.
Well,
and
I mean,
only watched the Nintendo one.
I would consider that as our lost cause audience then.
Winners and losers from the week-long video game industry event.
Like the losers is basically everyone, and the winners Nintendo kind of by default, but they also did actually, bring their shit. So
And they also did a good showing of Shin Megami Tensei 5.
They did, yes. And that
And
game
looking
looks
at the list.
killer.
Looking at the list, I think it's Mario Party, which sucks because it's just the content. So, loser. Fucking loser, but whatever.
You don't have to be like, oh, I'm a fucking loser for this. You're like,
But it's true.
like wear it with pride.
I hate it. It's gonna be great, but I just hate it.
We can't all be eating as good as Final Fantasy and Metroid at the moment.
They didn't show Endwalker at E3 at all, which is surprising.
Hunter,
But I guess
it was in there for
Final
5 seconds.
It's in its own dimension, you know?
Yeah.
Final
That's
Fantasy
because
14.
yeah, because they had to do the whole Final Fantasy 14 event was in May. They already did show it.
It
I
is,
don't
like-
care.
it is nuts how raw the Final Fantasy Origin was, though.
Wait, that doesn't even make any sense. You're only gonna watch the fucking Final Fantasy 14 event if you play it.
Yeah.
You want new players, right? So show it to the common normies at E3.
Actually, I have a thing for that. There's a recent PC gamer, whatever it is, I think it's them, interview with Yoshida, and part of it he mentions is they ask about like the pandemic bump for the player base, and he mentions that it's kind of a moral imperative. I don't know if it's like specifically with Square Enix wide or just the 14 team in specific, that they didn't want to go nuts on advertising to get as many new players as possible. Because of that, they're kind of like, it feels scummy to do that, and it also would probably boost our numbers in a way that would fuck us over ultimately. So there may be a bit of that where like they probably didn't want to go hard on Endwalker at E3 anyway.
Okay, but like one reused trailer at E3, and then mentioning that the base game and the first expansion, a 60+ hour experience is free. Like, I think that would have been completely fine.
Yeah, it's...
And, you know, the shitty, like, the bar for E3 isn't even high anyway.
No. But it is, in that instance, I think it is legitimately they kind of don't want to... Because if you get too many numbers, suddenly the CEO thinks you always have that number, and then problems begin, when the number inevitably goes down. To put it from, like, a less, like, oh, they're being, like, good boys perspective, from, like, an actual, like, cynical business perspective, you kind of don't want your boss thinking you're better than you are, because then the problems begin.
The Tsitsi Yaku died.
Yeah. This is war, Evan. People die in war.
People die. Well, I'm gonna attack the Palomu.
Might as well. The Brathian's already fucking off, so I'll be back down to the Palomu.
So I think, like, it's like...
Oh wait, the
You could make
Rathian's
the
coming to
argument.
you.
Like, everyone knows about Final Fantasy 14 anyway, but, like, there's a difference between knowing about it and seeing gameplay of it to get you, or to get someone interested.
I mean, that's literally what happened, was like, I never played it, so I'm kind of like, oh, I've had bad experiences with MMOs, it's just the MMO, and then I see, like, YouTube playing it, and kind of like, this has all the things I want Final Fantasy to do in it, and it looks like
Exactly,
it's
so
Final
you
Fantasy 12.
show a trailer of the gameplay at E3.
What you need to do
Like,
is
it
get...
just pisses me off. I don't even love the game that much. You know what I mean?
I am blatantly aware because I am hamstrung by this. But
That's not fair. The reason I haven't done it the last week or two is because I'm actually doing the Yokai Watch 2 extension.
I mean, like
after
last
2
week was
years.
E3 and all that, so you know.
That too. It's like I think this is an actual good excuse.
And you were sick. Oh man, like I get it. Don't worry, I get it. It is just
No, there's
the
still no
the
reason.
kind of cosmic tragedy though that makes me laugh but also cry. I am not put asleep by frog. Please help.
Did I restock? Yes.
I don't want to hit the.
Okay, I'm good.
windows.
I'm awake.
Ow.
Foresight slash does work on doors. Oh. Hello, Hammer. In chat. I'm doing Coral Waltz to get Hunter rank.
Like, I have to imagine the later ones give you more hunter rank. I'm gonna have to actually pay attention instead of just mashing past it like I always do.
I healed from that poison instantly. What the fuck? Yeah, no worries, Hammer. I've noticed you've been gone. It's like already 10 o'clock, so you were out the entire time, so no worries. We're just grinding anyway.
There's no way we're gonna be able to do a lot in 30 minutes anyway.
Yeah, that's right, because you're hitting your time limit as well anyway.
Yeah, this weekend I have 2 overnights and cats.
Fuck.
Normally the cats aren't bad because they're cats, but they forced me to wake up early. And when you have 2 dog jobs in the morning where you actually need to like get to them as soon as possible, that sucks. That sucks a lot.
Good night, Hammer. Sleep well.
And one of them is a pair of puppies, and I hate puppies, dude. Oh, Chris, you're a bad man. You don't get it. You don't fucking get it.
They all seem cute until you're actually like trying to feed and deal with them, and they're constantly needy and desires to. Hello, Luigi.
I'm like, oh, they're chaotic neutral because they're babies. But like, the more I think about it, I'm like, they don't care. They only care about themselves. I think that's chaotic evil.
Ah, well, conceptually, chaotic evil doesn't even care about itself. It is a creature of pure whim that only exists to cause misery, even if itself suffers.
Is that like the Joker?
Basically, yeah.
Or Loki, the chaos demon. I say that, and Luke's like, he's not a chaos demon, he's a trickster. I'm like, I don't know if that's just him being a prude or if it's like an actual problem in the Cape Shit universe, but
I mean, you
I
know,
like saying it.
people like say, even like mythological Loki, people go, they keep thinking, oh, he's automatically super awesome. He's just like a fancy trickster, prankster kind of guy most of the time. He does do bad shit, but he isn't necessarily like, the goddamn Joker, let's put it like that.
I'm like obsessed with whenever something, instead of saying like I'm gonna go, like this is gonna drive me crazy or something. Now I'm just saying,
yeah,
I'm gonna become the Joker. This is where I become the Joker, and then just like do a Joker laugh if it keeps happening. Oh, I might die.
Hang on, he's fucking off so I can.
I just like to say Joker's trick.
Therein lies the Joker's trick.
Or did you ever see that comic where Batman's turned into a baby and the Joker says Joker chance?
I haven't.
I like Joker chance. That's pretty good.
Sounds like something that would be said in an anime. Chance. Or was it safe?
Ooh.
I think I'm taking a long way around, but whatever. So that's a
Oh, this
site.
brought me to the top of the place. What the fuck? At the bottom?
It's on the Wii launch pad up here near the camp. I can make bombs. Oh, theoretically, there we go.
No, that's not right. Forgot this isn't Rise. You can just use the D-pad to use the wheel. Which, like, I just don't know why you wouldn't use the radial wheel, especially in Rise. This doesn't make any sense.
Ow.
I feel like that's not what you intended.
No, it was the hitbox was just a little off. It's threading the needle. You got to be very specific.
Very Pacific. Can't believe that hit. Man, remember
wow.
when, well, that's weird.
Remember when?
Remember when you could attach a Kinsect to a monster so the Kinsect was also doing something instead of just being an extract farmer? Which just makes the insect glaive seem like an annoying weapon instead of a cool weapon. Monster Hunter Rise.
I mean, why would you play as anything but the longsword, though? That's why you start with the longsword, remember?
It pisses me off, and the physics feel wrong. It's like when you bounce off of a monster, you feel heavier, and it's not in like it's not like the melee kind of heavy where you can act faster and stuff. It's just feels wrong and clunky, like, you know, like a fucking Monster Hunter ripoff was doing the insect glaive.
I should just Legiana, so let's just fight that instead. Then fuck it. It's gonna track the power and move it. Where the Legiana's in front of us, so
Oh, okay.
we have taken different paths in life.
I'm already doing it.
I guess I'll just sharpen up.
Monster Hunter Rise made me think, because like in this game you you hold ZL to aim the Kinsect, but in Rise you use ZR, so you can imagine how that's annoying to swap between. But Rise actually has the right of it because there's no reason to use ZL. Like in Rise you need ZL open to use your bug whatever.
Yeah.
Like in this game there's really no reason why it can't also be ZR. So it's just like, why'd you reveal that fact to me? I was perfectly content.
Do you mean ZR or ZL? Because I was gonna say, like, you know, like, ZR in this case, like RT, is Spirit Sword on Longsword, and is Demon Mode on Dual Blades.
Well, ZR is okay. To remind myself because I'm getting mixed up. ZR is just like, you know, if you want to pole vault instead of roll or something, you press that. But if you want to aim the Kinsect, it's ZL. But like the Kinsect, to aim and fire and recall the Kinsect, don't use the roll button anyway.
Yeah.
So you could just have the same thing. You could just have aiming on ZR and it wouldn't change anything.
Okay. Ow.
I'm just angry because Monster Hunter Rise did something right, but it's different from World. What the fuck? If I communicated, I didn't mean it.
Communicated? Oh, me getting all my fucking counters there. Ow.
Yeah, I'm at the I'm at the point where I'm almost certain that any Silkbind stuff in Rise is not worth all of the downgrades and just how bad the game feels in comparison to World. I'm fully on the World train now.
That's interesting to me because, in my opinion, like in gameplay at least, when you're hunting shit, Rise feels better in many ways.
Silence Longsword Main. We know you have a counter now.
An extra counter, actually, but yeah. A faster, easier, separate counter, and then I can just kick out at any time. As opposed to
Like,
the
I
one that
think
needs a
the
bit of
thing that-
wind up.
I think the thing that bothers me the most about Rise isn't the sheer lack of new content, but it's really close. It's the fact that, like, in this game, when you kill a monster, there's something exciting and new in the weapon tree, but in Rise, you have to fight, like, 7 new monsters before you get anything new. It's just like, why? And that's not even something I've ever thought about until they took it away in Rise. It's like, what the hell?
It's the same ultimate point, but I would say, like, I would mind the wording of took it away versus could or could not do, because half the staff was probably played.
Kill Legiana.
He's going up to the tower, isn't he?
Probably. What's the other monster? I'm going that way.
Probably. Do you want to finish him off, Evan, and while I go after Paladin then, or what?
Okay.
Okay.
No, really? Okay, I'm going back up there. No, wait, never mind. I guess I'm going over here now.
Oh, you love flying monsters.
Just mark it. Fucking.
Yeah, the COVID thing, I'm remembering that a lot of games will be releasing this year and probably in the year after are going to be, like, probably dingy or janky in odd ways, is because, you know, the staff are played. It's kind of making me, like, more realize I kind of wish more people read interviews or, like, would make themselves aware of context around stuff that they talk about. Like, another example I was thinking of was people talking about Yuji Naka already having left Square Enix after Blam when the world exploded. And people
Sorry,
going like,
it's just fun. It's just funnier to misinterpret it though.
sorry?
It's just funnier to misinterpret it though.
I mean, when I say that, it's like mostly it's people. It's not like, yeah, he did leave because of that, but like it's people talking about stuff like, oh, I kind of wish Square Enix gave him like a better dev student. Like, well, no, they didn't pick that. He did, because the person who runs the studio that developed at Arzest is Naoshima, the Sonic artist, his old friend and buddy that he explicitly wanted to make the game with. So he gave it to Naoshima's studio, and Square Enix was kind of like, yeah, whatever, you're a director, you know what's up.
Nepotism.
So, you know, it's also really funny to find out when I was looking into stuff, like, the novelist they got, like, Square Enix brought on to, like, you know, help them make a plot and then also just write a novel about for cash and stuff. Turns out he's also former Sega. It's kind of like, huh. It's funny how that keeps happening here in this project.
Like, don't get me wrong. I empathize with the whole COVID thing with Monster Hunter Rise, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still.
It doesn't change, like, the
sad
fact
and
that these
angry.
things will make you sad and angry. That's perfectly fine. It's just like, you know, mind
No,
your wording of saying, oh, the devs took it out versus, you know, the devs probably were fucking dying. You know?
They fucked up the insect wave though. There's no excuse for that.
Ones like that, sure, it's, you know, it's just mindful of the wording on some of it. Be like, let's promote a more empathic understanding of game development. If only so I get less mad at people in general. How you doing up there, Evan?
I'm killing it.
Why am I stuck?
I killed it.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder though if
Yep.
things like tracks and stuff were left out because of time or because of intent.
Yeah, that is kind of the thing.
Like, did they want to make it simpler?
I think it's more that they probably wanted to go back to like like ones like that are probably actually like, trying to hybridize worlds and the old style, so they took tracks out.
I thought that the Monster Hunter Turbo nerds, or not really the Turbo nerds, the oldies, the Monster Hunter boomers, complained that a lot of things were too easy.
I mean, probably, but I mean, they're always going to say that.
The tracks didn't do that. The tracks gave you some wabi sabi that the Monster Hunter boomers love so much.
At the same time, it depends on which boomers you're listening to. Cause some will probably be like, that's like added fuss to my Monster Hunter, and I don't want it.
Aren't those the people who want the cold and hot drinks? You
Yes.
want extra fuss. There you go.
I mean, it's more just like I want the fuss that I had when I got into it, and this is like a really good tweet I saw over the past week. They want the game as it was when their parents were still together, and not the ones now they're divorced.
I don't know if that's real or like rhetoric.
It's kind of rhetoric. It was it's about the Final Fantasy thing. It's basically sassing at a lot of people being extremely whingy about a series that constantly reinvents itself and has new aesthetics for every individual game. Is doing that for a new one, and they just don't like this new one. But it kind of applies to a lot of things.
The fact that I couldn't tell is just kind of sad, though.
It is. I mean, that is an actual tweet I saw. It's a guy I follow who tweeted that. But
Is it the guy that you always retweet?
yeah, Theo, because he's a funny man. But it
That's
was.
all I know him as.
It's a
Gavin's
really.
alt account.
It is a really good, just funny way of putting. They want the game as it was when they were a kid or new to it or first got into it, and not as it is now, basically. But with the element of stabbing the shit out of the person it's about.
Evan, we aren't like stabbing you with sharp knives with this conversation, are we?
I have noticed you have not said much, yes.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I'm sorry for the we've wandered down things that feel like you can't say anything. I'm sorry.
Well, but Evan's the expert on the subject. He's the
I like Monster Hunter and Final Fantasy.
he's the opposing argument.
What position am I supposed to argue?
The Monster Hunter boomer.
This is a pretty good game.
Okay, no, I didn't forget all my shit. Good.
Let's try, because that gave me like a little less than 100 rank. I want to just see how much the other one gives.
What's the other one?
Well, we could do the Rotten Vale one or the Elder's Recess one. It kind of doesn't matter.
Okay.
Whatever you want to do. Which one do you guys want to do? Let's do the Recess one.
And then he decides anyway.
Because I'm like, I was like, it doesn't really matter. But then I'm like, well, if the Hunter rank scales up, then obviously the Recess one will give you more. So I might as well do that because it'll also be more noticeable. Do you get less Hunter rank if you die?
I would
never
presume
really thought
so,
about that.
yeah. I would assume so. I don't know.
Also, for the record, I actually like the hot and cool drinks, just like as a concept, because they aren't annoying to get or out of the way, so it's like that's not a problem. And then also just makes your hunter feel more like a human.
It's a game feel thing, yeah.
There is one. Yeah, that is. It's a good feel, but that also does make me think about something from Final Fantasy 14.
What's that?
Hot and cold drinks.
No. Before Shadowbringers came out, and it was still, and all the jobs had all their Stormblood moves and stuff. Before they were like, let's cut these 3 moves out to add 4 new moves here.
It's ruined the healers.
No, they're fine. Don't worry about it. All the healers had a roll ability that all healers got called Protect.
Oh.
Fuck me.
Protect lasted for 30 minutes, and it was a damage reduction. And in Shadowbringers, they took it out because
Why have it, honestly?
because why have it? If you're gonna use Protect at the start of a dungeon, why not just give everyone across the board the amount of damage Protect would reduce instead of just casting it once per dungeon?
Yeah.
And that's kind of similar to the hot and cold drink, even if it does add a game feel.
Does it add a game feel, though?
Yeah. If you're going into the cold part of the map, drink a hot drink. Or
But, like, you're
you're
doing
just
this for every
just-
quest, right?
yeah, and in 14, it's whenever you start a dungeon or a raid, you would cast Protect.
I think it's just an extra button in a game that already has too many buttons. So I don't. That's one of those things where I'm like, and the healer's already doing so much shit anyway.
You think you're doing enough shit with you? You play Astrologian.
Yeah, it's like they're already protecting you with like 5 other moves alongside healing you, alongside reducing damage and shit. It's like I don't think we need another one. I think we already
Buffing
got
everyone's attacks individually by roll if you're an Astrologian.
But yeah, it's like, hey, it's a matter of prep, but
Some
How
prep
much
can
prep do
be
you want?
like, yeah, some can be deprecated and just made universal if it's ubiquitous enough. In theory, in Monster Hunter, you can go into these areas without the drinks and just try and tank through the shit. Which fighting some of the stuff in Elder's Recess, I've done that. It's like, fuck it, I'm not bothered with a cold drink. I'll just chug regular.
yes, that is a consideration. But the situation with Protect is the closest parallel I have
Yeah.
to the circumstance.
Kevin, are you ready to go?
Well, actually, I have to go deal with Luigi because he's squeaking at me.
Okay, because I have to leave in like 13 minutes.
Look, alright, fine. We'll go now. I'll just deal with him destroying shit in the background until I'm out.
I feel
Well,
like
it could
this
be
is going to
worse.
last more than 13 minutes.
Yeah.
He could be worse. He could be a puppy. Just whenever you're like, man, Luigi's being annoying, just imagine him as a puppy. And go, man, it could be worse. Bonk.
Surprised that hit the end of that, too. Yep, Luigi, I know. I hear you. You
Like-
are heard.
It could be worse. He could be destroying his bed and swallowing all the fluff stuffing inside.
Yeah, even kittens aren't that bad.
He could not have his claws snipped even though you were promised that, and thus cause you to actually draw blood in several places. It could be worse, you know?
Yeah. Oh, hello.
This is just a vehicle for me to complain about puppies.
I mean, I've used this to complain about work actively, so you might as well.
Okay, so one of the Kinsect moves you have with the Insect Wave, one of the ones you start with, the X one,
Yeah.
is it's a Kinsect that just launches you forward in the air.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I'm like, what's the point of this? And then I was like, oh, so you can like close the distance between a monster and do an aerial attack without having to just go straight up, like this.
Yeah.
But right now, I just kind of realized, like, oh wait, if they just kept descending thrust in the game, that's a really good approach option because you keep your forward momentum. Case in point.
That's right. I
I
got
hate you,
Tremor
Monster Hunter
resistance.
Rise. I hate you. Whoa. If you didn't roar, that would have brought it right to my attack.
Alright, one down.
Wait, really? Holy shit. Oh wait, Crystal Burst is here. The real reason why I said we do the Elder's Recess. Of course. If this gives us more hunter rank, I might make it to 50 right at the end of the stream. That'd be convenient.
The box attack begins.
Is there like a reason you don't like him doing that besides it just being annoying?
It's partly a behavioral thing, because it's kind of like, now that he started doing this to try and annoy me into doing what he wants, if I do end up doing what he wants, it may reinforce that, and it's kind of like, this is a hell cycle you pushed me into, cat.
I mean, isn't it kind of unfortunate that it's probably just to get attention, which is exactly what you give him by bringing him away from it?
I know, that's the thing, and it's kind of like,
You can't win!
I can't win, I've been owned by my fucking cat.
That's like the thing with the puppies where, like, the owner's trying to train them, and, yeah, she's like, don't do this, or whatever. And I'm like, it's impossible. Like, the dogs have already engineered it so that it's impossible, and they're like 3 months old.
It doesn't help that as well, 'cause my mum will care for things like this as well, so even if I end up getting it correct somehow, he's still just going to learn till you can do it on her and just assume you can do it on anyone anyway. Because cats are about as intelligent as babies.
It's kind of the problem.
Probably a bit more wily, but otherwise...
I'm like, as an intermittent, like, overnight baby or pet sitter, I'm like, there's solace in the fact that if I let any behavioral things slide to make the job a bit easier for myself,
it's
they're not
not
gonna
your
stick.
problem.
No, that's not my problem. It's just that it's not gonna stick because I'm only there for like 2 days. They aren't gonna unlearn a lot of their habits. Whereas if it's like a daily job, I take it a lot more seriously. I still try anyway, but like, you can only do so much with pets, especially dogs.
I mean, that's also true of infants, honestly.
Like, you might have heard, like, the technique to stop dogs from jumping on you, you just turn away from them. Except that doesn't work when the puppy basically teleports in front of you and is already jumping on you the moment you've turned around.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't undo this behavior. It's impossible.
If only it worked like with Luigi, where whenever I really don't want him to do things, I just start picking him up and just hold him. And at the point, he's just like, meow. He's like, free me. It's like, no, you've chosen this fate.
It's like, instead of stressing about it, I'm just gonna be like, well, I'm only here for 2 days. I already have enough to stress out about.
What the hell is this thing?
Like how you come up to me, don't whine, and then just pee there. I'm like, what are you doing? You saw me looking at you. You had my attention. If you just whined once, I would have gotten up and opened the door.
Fuck.
The one good thing about these puppies is, for some reason, despite the backyard not having a fence, they don't run away. And I know that's like dangerous, but they really don't. Like, not even close. I'm like, what the hell? At most, they'll go in their neighbor's yard, and I just shake the treat thing, and they come over immediately.
It might be like I don't know what dogs or anything. It might just be a dog thing where they probably know not to go far from home.
That's definitely not true, because dogs definitely do it. And the fact that, like, these are puppies that aren't doing it has me even more fucking confused. Because like when you're an old dog, you know this is where the food is. I actually like these people, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like
Ow.
for puppies, it's like, oh wow, look, there's a tree over there. Whoa, what's that moving steel thing?
Yeah, it's like babies, where it's like, there's a shiny thing into my mouth.
For some reason, these puppies don't do that. It's weird. In a good way. But they're still puppies in every other way. At least it's not puppies in every way. So they have two crates. They have like a steel crate they have a steel crate and then like this kind of like crate where you zip up, like think like camping gear, that kind of thing. It's kind of like a tent. It's made of whatever that fabric is, and just zippers
canvas?
and netting. Yeah, like it's canvas and stuff. So like last night I leave them for dinner, like after dinner, and like I come back at bedtime, and the crate is like halfway across the room, and the dog in that one is out of it. Like, what the fuck did you do? The zipper wasn't broken, so I'm like, a puppy getting out of the crate is like the worst thing ever. Because guess what was all over the floor? Everything. So now that puppy is put exclusively in the steel crate. And the puppy who's more well behaved apparently, and doesn't break out of the canvas one, gets the canvas one. And bigger treats for that matter. It's like, here, split this big treat in half. I can never split it in half. It's impossible. So I'm like, you get the bigger one.
Thank you, free whoop. Thank you, free meal. You're gonna make these puppies turn into like Cain and Abel if you keep that like treat splitting up.
I'm only there for 2 days. I'm making my life as easy as possible. Because my other overnight is, I don't know if I talked about my friends like hell dogs, where they're just like extremely hyper, and they're very strong, and
maybe.
they'll pull for every dog they see, and the neighborhood is filled with dogs, and they bark really loudly, and they make me look bad, and I feel pain after walking them. They're the other job I have. The other like overnight 4 times a day job I have. It's like, I don't deserve, I deserve like to take some shortcuts here.
He's dead.
Thank you, Jesus.
On the bright side, I started walking those hell dogs that are, you know, pull. I started walking them separately.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, they just hype each other up. Because a dog barks, and even the crazy dog, like the crazier dog of the two, doesn't care. I'm like, what? But why? Like, are you not trying to impress the other dog? I don't get it.
It's probably that, like, you know, a dominance thing, or it's pack mentality. When you have your pack with you, go for it. When you don't, you probably can't take that fight.
And it's like the calm dog cares even less, which makes sense. But when the other dog is barking at something, she also goes apeshit. I'm like, you're the calm dog who always looks sad, like, just chill. I'm like, why? How are you even like this? So that's new tech, you know? For the longest time, I've just walked dogs together, no matter how, like, problematic it was.
Oh.
Because, like, it was never that problematic. This is the first time I've ever done walk dogs separately. And I'm like, wow. This is 3 times easier. It might be 3 times as long, but it's 3 times easier. And I've never been happier in my life. So at least there's that.
Well, that's good, at least. You do what you must to keep seeing.
Exactly.
Ow. Like me, where I'm gonna start a fucking fight with my boss if he insists on me ever pairing up with the new hire game in the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Hello, Luigi. He's moved on to box 2 now. He's staring directly at me as he does it.
Like, I'm a relatively sensitive yes man kind of guy, so I'm not very assertive with a lot of things, but now I'm being more assertive with more things, and I'm realizing that it is like the best thing to do ever.
Yes. I mean, my thing has always been that, like, if I'm comfortable, I'm fine. The moment I start losing my comfort is the point where I'm just kind of like, hey boss, I'm here to fuck you. And it works every time.
That's actually a pretty cool little mechanic that it has there. It's very unfortunate that this monster is never seen.
I mean, we're going to be seeing tons of it for decorations, so... maybe that's why they made that quest a tempered lava seal, so people actually fought it.
That's a move you don't want to see. Ew, a move that doesn't use the red extract. Gross. There's no way I can jump over this, right? Oh, well, that's gonna make it a bit harder. Yeah, they put an invisible wall around it. Cowards. We don't want to animate a fade to black as your character dies in lava.
I mean, honestly, thank them for it, because that means we don't have to worry about it. I'd rather take that over, you know, the game going, well, you fucked it, well, you fucked it, well, you fucked it.
Look, put a character tall invisible wall around it, and then, you know, no invisible wall on top of that, so that you can jump over it.
I'm just looking into the alternate world where this is a thing and you're just screaming about it as we fight this lava seal.
Okay, but what about the alternate reality where I don't fuck it up ever? Okay, sure, it's doing the pie ribbit thing where you can't attack it, which is, you know, a cardinal sin of boss fights, but it's pretty cool still. Also, I could still attack it while it was in the lava with the Kinsect.
That's funny. I presume that you could probably, if you had a gun, you could just keep shooting it anyway and just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. You probably can't kill it in the lava, but it'd be really funny if you could and it just sunk away.
Actually, I kind of want to test that. Not like I will, but...
Hello, other Git Azure Raphalos.
Did we fight this thing yet? Oh, yeah, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
Thinking of something else.
Just throwing this up while I sharpen my weapon, because, yep, the fucking stupid little buffaloes have taken issue of my existence. Perish. Both things shot fireballs at me. God is dead. I'm glad I put this mantle on. This is a pretty small Rathalos all told. Hello, Luigi. I know.
Am I in the ground? Jesus Christ. I think I was momentarily before the game was like, hey, wait a second.
Suffering and chaos. Thanks, Luigi.
Does Luigi know what sarcasm is? You might be reinforcing a bad behavior.
I fucking hope he does at this point. To be honest, I'm surprised he just doesn't have a panic reaction to his name half the time. Suffering. Suffering continues. Suffering continues. I have a trap.
I thought we were just killing all of them.
At this point, like, getting this thing trapped will at least get it out faster, basically. Be gone. Right.
Where's Suffer Me from?
I don't know.
Probably remember it in like an hour.
Are you heading to the Raphalos 7? So I can reapply buffs.
I think I am.
Oh, does Alucard say it in Smash? Suffer me.
I don't know. Maybe.
That might be it. You think he would say that in his game too, but
I don't think he does, though. That might be close enough. Was it close enough? I don't know.
nah, that's not as good as bonking it.
Yeah. Did you actually trap the lava man?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just to get it out of the way, because, oh fuck, oh god. Oh, if my ship bounces off it when it enters one of its two modes that look basically identical.
Oh no, I'm animation locked. Ah. Oh no, you aren't the behemoth, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Luigi, that's the computer. If you step on the power switch, I am seizing you. Seizing!
You wanna like shoo him away?
Move. Away.
I'm dying again. I'm stunned and poisoned and on
Try.
fire.
I'm trying. Please, game. Thank you. Pardon me. Remember your mantles if we have them still. Like, smoke them if you got them. This is a Raphalos on speed, so. Please stop flying, oh my god.
Flash pods or something.
I don't have any on me. Thank you, Jesus.
Now can you get on the tail? No. Okay.
I'll pick the bad time to do that. Tails
That's the
off.
tail.
Yeehaw.
I wanted to cut it off with the butter knife. Not the swinger bomb. No, not the. No, they don't want
Holiday.
sure.
Just in case. At least not that he's gone into it, but hey.
Like how lava is like nothing in this game.
And then he walks away from it, because of course he does.
Get back here. And then now we walk over to it.
Come on, asshole. You son of a bitch.
Come on, kids, like pestered enough so it aggroes on me. They did! Woo!
Alright, we just need it to land.
Oh, that's bad. That's actually bad. Okay.
I killed it with a slinger bomb. Whatever. Fine.
Hooray!
I like how the Rathalos plate is still red.
I like how you both got one and I didn't.
What, do you need it or something?
I didn't get a
No.
plate. I got a ruby.
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, either or. Like, I don't need it, but it was just a funny thing. This fucking thing. I mean, at least these are shooting like 3 decorations at a time. That's also nice.
I got 6.
Fuck me. I didn't get anything good.
I'm HR
Oh my
50.
god! It gave like 1.5 hunter ranks or something.
Oh, we got like
Are you also HR 50 now?
Yeah.
Woo!
2
barely.
smallest gold crowns and 1 largest gold crown. Holy fuck.
Maybe this is where you're supposed to grind them and no one ever told us.
I guess. I'm not going back for the platinum.
渡りの凍てつに行きましょう。
Alright, I think you have to go now, Chris.
Yep.
Play games and fun, and we did, yes. Haha.
Pardon me. I don't even remember.
I don't know if you want to play tomorrow, but I should be done this hell weekend at 2. Or sooner. I could probably make it at 1. Let's be honest, they're dogs. So, we'll save first. Whoa, save. Whoa.
We'll leave it at we'll see, because I want to do the big stack of Steam game demos. I may end up doing that all day tomorrow.
We'll see. Anyway, I'm leaving.
Goodbye. He's gone.
Uh,
What saith you, Evan?
wow. What if we don't play tomorrow, but and then we play next week, and it's not a Kulve Taroth weekend?
that is the thing.
That's the thing, makes you think. Because I figured out how it works, and this is a Kulve Taroth week.
That's a good point. It may be worth doing. I guess we'll put it like this. If Hammer can join us tomorrow so we can do the siege, I'll probably go for it. If not, I might just use the time for my personal Steam game demo writing bullshit.
Cool.
You sound like you've been run ragged today. I'm sorry.
I haven't been. I'm perfectly regular.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm doing the Steamworks, though.
Actually, I should do that. I'm so bad at guessing these, oh my god. Fuck.
I got a bonus.
What'd you get?
The more Steam than usual one. And when you get the bonus, you don't even spend fuel. It's just a bonus round.
Even with like most of the thing there, when it popped all that, I didn't get anything. I didn't manage to complete it.
I just filled it up.
I had it most of the way filled up from last time, and I still couldn't finish it this time. It was like 350 out of
Oh,
400
no.
fuel. I'm very
I
bad
did
at
it
this.
because I was like, oh, my reserve is full.
Chris is typing. Luigi's given up and he's now sitting on the windowsill just looking outside mournfully. He's a Olderama king, aren't you? Yes, hello. That's your belly. Yep, there's the claws. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just casual. Chris has the same thought you already had.
Yes. What a great Steamworks.
Alright, well, we'll see. If Hammer can join us tomorrow, we'll go for it. If not, then there's no real point beyond like just doing the grinding for decos, but I'd rather do the Steam game demo thing while I have it.
Anything's good.
Alright, I think I will end stream then.
Okay.
That's us for the day anyway. Goodbye, stream.
Wow.